is the last show, and my guest tonight has been on our show before. He's best known as being one of the original bad boys of radio, and I think it's great, he just made his move into television for Fox Broadcasting with his own show. Please welcome Howard Stern!
Good morning. We got to take a short little break. We'll come back and start the show for you right after these words.
You're listening to The Howard Stern Show. More after this. 97.1, The Eagle.
6:11 at The Eagle. This is Brad Baxter. It's 6:14 at 97.1, The Eagle.
Howard Stern Morning. Your rock. All day. 97.1, The Eagle. It's the Howard Stern Show. Here's Howard.
I am so friggin' tired.
Is it that you have trouble sleeping on Sunday night, getting to sleep?
No trouble.
No?
I was unconscious last night. I was in the middle of Superman and I fell asleep.
Really?
With the TV on, so I don't know. I'm pretty tired.
Maybe all that activity you're participating in the astral plane is tiring you out in the morning.
What do you mean, the astral plane? What are you talking about? Explain
well,
that.
there's this theory, you know, that you go somewhere else when you're sleeping.
Oh, yeah. Anywhere but where I am is where I go.
And then you're having all these activities and adventures and interacting with people, so you're not really resting.
Yeah, I know I'm not having a good time in my real life, so I must be having a good time when I'm asleep.
Maybe having some out-of-body sex.
Yeah, maybe.
Partying.
I had sex with my wife this weekend, Saturday night. We had sex. After a full day of her yelling at me.
Is that how you guys work up to it?
Yeah, well, she wanted to, I don't know. I fell asleep. I slept all Saturday morning, and then Saturday afternoon I fell asleep, and I slept till about 7:30 at night, and she had said to me all day that she wanted to go to a movie with me. She wanted to go to a movie with me.
Oh.
She wants to go to a movie with me. And I said, okay, I'll go to a movie with you, but I was sleeping. So we never went to a movie. And she started yelling at me. I said, so why didn't you wake me up? She goes, I tried to wake you up. I said, so you're going to be mad at me because I fell asleep?
Because you're tired?
Yeah, I mean, I'm exhausted. I said, when are you going to go out and start making a living? When are you going to start doing it? So I got yelled at all night because I had the nerve to fall asleep. Then around 11:30, I was watching Saturday Night Live. I got bored with that, so I figured I might as well shut her up.
Over on top of her.
I swear, I rolled over on top of her just to shut her up. just to shut her up about she didn't get to go to a movie.
Oh,
she went to a movie with the kids. She went to see the Brady Bunch movie with the kids.
Yeah?
Yeah. So she goes, but I wanted a date with you. I wanted a date with you. I said, well, I wanted a date with you, but I was sleeping.
Saturday night's the only night she could work you in.
Yeah. It's a test of my love if I go out with her on a Saturday night. A test of my love. So I rolled over on top of her Saturday night. Gave her a good workout. Gave her the vibrator, the whole treatment.
Oh, you did everything.
Yeah, oh, she was moaning like crazy. She said she has never felt me so intensely.
What does that mean?
You know.
No, I don't.
And they gave it to her good.
What if she felt you so intensely?
Exactly.
You mean physically?
But yeah, you know, I was the fullest I've ever been. I was, my bigness. I was so big.
You grew.
I grew. She was like, wow. I said, I told you. I told you I'm growing.
It's finally happening.
It's happening.
You're hitting puberty.
Finally satisfying her. So I gave it to her pretty good, and she was like going wild. She couldn't even handle it.
She said, stop?
Well, no. She just was like, oh, my God, oh, my God. I'm really good in bed. I've gotten really good.
Oh, boy, here we go.
I'm telling you, girls.
What you're missing.
I feel bad for you.
You can't have me.
You can't have me. You got to be with your husbands. But, man, I'm good. I'm especially good during the commercials.
Yeah, how long did the whole session last, Mr.
Oh,
Goodness?
this went on for a while.
Yeah?
Because I was having sex with her, full blown-out sex, and then I stopped, got the vibrator out, did a little of that, went back to it. I mean, I took a lot of time.
Oh, yeah? You woke up with some energy. She should let you sleep every Saturday.
Yeah, I saw a lesbian movie, and I was watching how lesbians... This was a lesbian movie made by lesbians for lesbians.
And where were you watching this?
In my house. I was watching it a couple of days ago, and it made me realize how much time girls spend on girls, to get them off.
Uh-huh.
So I realized that maybe I should be spending more time.
After how many years?
Maybe I should... Maybe there's some things I should be doing that I haven't been doing.
Oh, boy.
So I've been, experimenting with that.
Uh-huh. I've only tried to tell you this about 100,000 times.
I'm a very visual person. I have to see somebody doing it in order to know how to do it. So once I saw the lesbians...
I would say you're a very remedial person.
Yeah. All I know is I must learn something because my wife was going wild.
I know retards who know more about sex than you.
Yeah. I'm learning. It's a constant learning process. Believe me, if I did it to you, you wouldn't be. You would be climbing the wall. You'd be scratching the walls.
And the absence of sex wouldn't have anything to do with that.
Yeah. Well, whatever reason, you'd be scratching the walls. Can I tell you?
Oh, yeah. Oh.
That's what you'd hear. Now I got the vibrator. Look at Robin go. That's right. That's right.
Sure.
That's the sounds.
You got it on tape.
Yeah. Keep dreaming, baby. So, I did that Saturday night. And Sunday I just...
would she have preferred a movie or that?
Well, she wanted both. But I was a real good husband this weekend. I was with the kids the whole weekend. I took them to karate class. I took them out to lunch on Saturday.
Is that being a husband or a father?
What did I say?
Husband.
I was a real good husband and father because, and then Sunday night I took my wife out to dinner.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like a Mr. Man about town.
What, you mean Sunday night you were in bed asleep by...
Yeah, but I took her out like 5 o'clock for dinner.
That's not evening.
Yeah, well, I took her out for dinner. We did that. And I did a whole bunch of junk. Try to be a good husband and father.
Were you feeling guilty?
No, I don't know. I'm just trying to do the right thing, Trying to get into it.
Oh. Thought you'd try it out, see what it was like.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not doing that again. I just want to see what it'll be like, I carted the kids around all weekend.
Was it fun?
Yeah, and then I even, Sunday morning I got up and I went to visit my cousin Jack. Brought Emily with me.
Uh-huh.
We hung out over there.
Your cousin who was the cartoonist?
Yeah, the guy who used to paint the covers for the comic books. I had a dream about him Saturday night. I said, I'm going to go visit him. I was just thinking about him. So I went over to see him and his wife, Dorothy, my other cousin, of course. And then, I was like Mr. Family Man. Yeah, very family-oriented.
Everybody would be proud of you.
Yeah, if I behaved like that every day, everyone would think I was a great guy. Every 6 months or so, I venture outside the house, see what it's like.
See other people.
Yeah, see what the hell's going on.
See what people do.
Yeah, just see what's going on out there, see if anything changed. And nothing seems to change.
Oh, no, you don't go where I go.
Well, where do you go?
It was hysterical because a couple of weeks ago I was walking around in the village, and then I decided, I was shopping, and then I decided, oh, geez, I'm hungry, want to fall into some place and have something to eat. I ran into this place called Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah.
There was like a 3-ring circus going on in there.
What do you mean?
People don't have dinner anymore. They have to be entertained while dinner's happening.
Because nobody wants to talk to each other.
Right, so they got this, everything on the wall talks. There's a show every 15 minutes.
Wait a second. Jekyll and Hyde, is that new place that...
It's right over here.
There's one on 57th Street.
What's the theme?
It's like a horror show.
Yeah.
You got Frankenstein dropping from the ceiling.
And it talks to you?
Yeah.
The stuff on the wall talks to you?
Right. Then there's a gargoyle that sings a song. And then there's... Is
it for kids?
Everybody was in it. It's for, and they serve these, yard-long beers. So, you got the yuppie crowd in there getting drunk at the bar.
Right.
And you got the family with the kids over at the tables trying to eat while all this stuff is going on. They got a guy roaming around like Dracula.
Like a mime?
Well, he's the butler or something.
Oh.
And so he looks like Dracula. So he's roaming around with the white makeup and all that.
Yeah, there's no such thing as going to eat anymore.
No.
It's like you got to have some kind of weird theme going on, like Planet Hollywood or the Rock and Roll Cafe or whatever that is, Hard Rock. Got to have something going down.
Yeah, you can't. I said, what? You can't even talk because all this stuff is going on and blowing up, and you're coughing from that dry ice sending out smoke everywhere.
Do you have to tip the actors?
It was amazing.
And the stuff on the wall just starts talking to you?
Talking or singing, whatever, yeah.
Is it...
Flirting with the crowd, because there's a guy back there. It's like the kid car that you see at Universal.
Oh, I see.
There's a guy in a booth somewhere looking at everybody, and he starts talking, and he works your name into the song or, something.
Did the guy recognize you on the wall?
No.
Hey, Robin. How you doing? How you doing, big breath? Look at that. They aren't kidding around. Wow. Want to get those things out of your drink? How you doing? All right?
That's exactly what it's like.
Is it really?
Is it like not even a goofy voice?
No, the guy just sits there and he says, hello, lady with the blonde, scratch me under my chin, if it's, right above her head.
So it's just some annoying guy, but he's behind a microphone talking like one of these robots.
Yeah.
Does his mouth move on the thing?
Oh, yeah, they have everybody's mouth moves and,
but barely,
eyes roam around, but, it doesn't match the voice.
Everybody, look at the cans at table 6. Hey, look at that. Hi, boys and girls. How are you? Good. Hey, lady with the blonde hair over there. How are you? What's happening? Hope you're enjoying your meal.
Like that stuff?
Mm-hmm.
What does he say to you?
There's one, the gargoyle sings. He sings this stupid song, and he just sort of checks out the crowd, and he sings, all the yuppies with the beer.
Oh.
You're not getting laid tonight.
Really? Laid?
Oh, yeah.
In front of the kids?
In front of the kids.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Hey, kids, you're not getting laid tonight. That's because you haven't reached puberty. Hey, kids. Hey, kids. Why don't you change seats? I want to look up your mommy's dress. You're not getting laid tonight, Dad. Nice cans. I'm going to name yours. I'm going to call the left one Jekyll and the right one Heckle. Heckle and Jekyll.
Or Jekyll and Hyde or whatever it is. Oh, yeah, I was wondering what that place is, because every time I pass by it, I see a big line out in front.
Yeah, I had no idea. I just wanted to go in and get a sandwich.
And usually the food's crummy, right?
Right.
It's just that somebody had some cool idea to put some wacky things on the wall and have some guy rap to them.
Right, and everybody, the place is packed.
Yeah. Wow. Jekyll and Hyde. I'll have to check it out. That's funny.
You can't get a meal anymore. You got to go get all that entertainment.
Some out-of-work comedian finally got a gig working behind that wall.
Oh, yeah, he's bitter.
Yeah. Angry puppets on the wall.
That guy in that white makeup, he's bitter, too.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of hostile people serving you dinner.
So anyway, our show on Friday was subpoenaed.
What did we do on Friday?
You just sobered up. You're over there laughing, and all of a sudden you're like, what did we do?
Yeah, wait a minute.
L.A. prosecutor's office subpoenaed the show.
Wow, we're going to be on the O.J. case?
No, not the O.J. case. That guy who chopped his girlfriend's head off case.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'll tell you all about it when we come back. I got to take a short break.
Yeah,
this is pretty good. We'll be back right after these words.
We'll be back with the Howard Stern Show. Don't go away. 97.1 The Eagle.
628 at The Eagle. This is Brad. It's 6:31 at 97.1 The Eagle.
Call Howard on the Eagle's toll-free line, 1-800-54-STERN. We're back with the Howard Stern Show. Here's Howard.
Well, that's pretty good. See, I'd like to play like that guy. Who is that?
If it's the top of the card, it's Megadeth.
I'd like to play like Megadeth. I can handle that. Yeah, I should have practiced my guitar a little bit when I was younger.
It's a little late to be.
Man, I think I've missed the boat. I think it's...
to have figured all this out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was not gifted musically. I'm pretty sure of that. There was no inclination toward that.
No need to go to your room now and practice.
No. Ain't going to happen. All right, what do you want? You want to hear about how in Los Gatos, where is Los Gatos?
Well, the guy said he was calling from San Diego, so it must be somewhere around there.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. We're not in San Diego more than a couple of weeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And already we're making news out there. Oh, that was from San Diego?
Well, that's what he said, yeah.
Oh, I thought it was Los Angeles.
No, he said San Diego.
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't realize. That's kind of cool. Prosecutors seek radio caller's tape. Slaying described on the air sounds like Los Gatos case. This is an article by Sandra Gonzalez, a Mercury News staff writer. What is it?
Los Gatos is outside of San Jose.
San Jose.
San Jose. It was San Jose, he said, because he said he drove to San Francisco.
Oh, okay. So it's San Jose, San Francisco. Yeah. All right. Hello, Mr. Stern, the caller began innocently enough. Radio personality Howard Stern then asked him, so how long have you been sitting in a jail? A little over a year, answered the caller, who continued, one night I had taken some acid and smoked some crack, flipped out, and I cut my fiance's head off. Stern's sidekick Robin Quivers gasped, and then the caller, identified on the air as Lee, spent the next 20 minutes describing a brutal Los Gatos murder, while a nationwide audience, including several Santa Clara County prosecutors, listened in.
Ooh, everybody was tuned in.
Within hours of the broadcast Friday morning, Los Gatos police were tipped off. So was Deputy District Attorney Lane Learoff, who was prosecuting 27-year-old Lee Elmore Newman for the 1994 murder of Deborah Lynn Eberly, a 32-year-old dental office manager from Los Gatos.
So far, all the facts are checking out.
Yeah. On Friday, Learoff had investigators working to trace phone records to verify the caller's identity to make sure the call was not a hoax. Officials at the Santa Clara County Jail, where Newman is awaiting trial, said Friday night they could not confirm it. They couldn't confirm it was Newman who made the call. Don't they have phone records and who used the phone when?
And don't they have a guy wheeling it down the hall to him?
Yeah, evidently in prison, like you sit in your cell and they'll wheel a phone to you so you would know if the guy called in at 4 in the morning.
That's what I would think.
No, who knows? Learoff said the caller mentioned details that matched those of the Eberly killing. There is no question that it is the same case, said Learoff, who faxed a subpoena to the radio show's producers demanding a tape of the broadcast to use as evidence in court. I'm shocked that Mr. Newman would speak about the killing in such a cavalier fashion, Learoff added.
So was I.
Yeah, so were we. But it's consistent with what I've been told about him. Tom Giussano, general manager of Infinity Broadcasting in New York, said he planned to cooperate fully with the district attorney's office, but he required a subpoena to provide a copy of the tape.
As a man who also has lost his head, he has sympathy.
Yeah. No trial date has been scheduled for Newman, who has pleaded not guilty in the case. His attorney, Alfred Morales, did not return phone calls Friday. Wow.
Well, didn't he say the fact that he cut her head off is not in dispute?
Yeah, he says he admits guilt. During last year's preliminary hearing, however, Morales spent much of the court proceeding challenging an alleged confession by Newman that Morales said was obtained improperly by Los Gatos police.
Ah, this is the problem.
Oh, this is... In two separate phone calls to the Stern Show Friday morning, broadcast in the Bay Area on San Jose's KOME-FM, the caller, identified as Lee, calmly described how he killed his girlfriend, Deborah, in an act he blamed on his drug use. I wasn't in the right state of mind, Lee said. Definitely not, Stern answered. Quivers interjected, so what's the trial about? He's guilty. Though it was suggested during the broadcast that Lee faced the death penalty, Learoff later said that is not the case.
Aww.
Some of what he detailed are exaggerated lies and fanciful things, Learoff said, citing dialogue in which Lee described a good relationship with the victim's family. At the time of the murder, Lee said he had been engaged to Deborah, whose father is a dentist. Yeah, it's true. You know, he kept saying how, like, he gets along real well with the girl's family and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, yeah, right.
Well, when he was trying to describe that, they were all sitting around commiserating about the fact that she was dead with him on his first visit, I thought that was awfully bizarre.
Yeah. Yeah, and hugging him and stuff,
The girl's dad is hugging and saying, why did you do this? We would have done anything for you. Not wrapping his fingers around his throat.
Eberly, who worked in her father's dental office, was found dead on January 21st, 1994, in her apartment on Woodsy Reservoir Road in Los Gatos after neighbors reported they had not seen her for 3 days. Eberly's neck was nearly severed, and she had been stabbed in the chest and abdomen. Newman was arrested 5 days later in San Francisco. Yeah, this is definitely the same guy.
Oh, yeah.
Eberly's father could not be reached for comment on Friday. During a 1994 interview with the Mercury News, he described his daughter as a private person, a single parent devoted to her son, with whom she lived in her cherished home in the Los Gatos Hills. On the Stern program, Lee described his arrest in great detail and jokingly mentioned that he considered having Stern witness his execution should it ever take place. Did you think that was a joke?
No.
No.
But now we see he's not even going to be executed. They're not even trying him on the death penalty.
Only once did the caller voice any real sorrow for what he did. If I could ask God to bring Deborah back, I would, but I can't. You know what I mean? I'm not like O.J. I'm not going to say that I didn't do it, he said. At one point, Lee asked Stern and Quivers for an autograph. Stern replied, I don't know, man, dude. I have a real problem with what you did to that girl. You know what I mean? It's hard to feel kind of sympathetic for you. Even for Stern, known for making outrageous comments and hosting controversial guests, the episode was bizarre. He told Lee, you might be the craziest guy we've ever had call in.
I think so far nobody's tipped from that lofty position.
I could have convicted the guy right on the telephone and saved the taxpayers a lot of money, but...
Well, this is what I'm saying. It's over. Let's get to the punishment.
Yeah, let us get in there and pull the switch.
Get to the good stuff.
Yeah, let's get right to it. I was reading in the New York Times this weekend that there's a whole debate going on about executing people, like how you should do it. Lethal... What is it?
Guess who's on the phone?
Is it Lee?
It's Lee, our newest listener.
Does he think this is a law office?
Hey, Lee.
Mr. Stern.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing, buddy?
Hey.
Did anybody come to visit you?
Man.
Did you catch a lot of crap?
What's that?
Did you catch a lot of crap for calling in?
They took my Walkman with my radio. I can't hear you guys anymore.
Are you kidding? How come?
Yeah.
Like, why would they do that, though?
Well, it's a long story. That's one of the reasons why I called. I wanted to clear up a few things. I don't know. Have you read it in the paper?
Yeah, I just finished reading it on the air.
You wouldn't know that, though.
Yeah. You can't hear the show, so.
No, because it's 3 hours difference here anyway.
Right.
But, Deputy District Attorney Linroth.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of the things he said, like cavalier, I think that was one of the things he said. You don't know what he's talking about. I talked to my attorney Saturday.
Yeah, Alfredo
M. Morales.
Yeah.
And, we went over things, and maybe it wasn't right for me to call and say the things that I said, but one of the reasons why I was calling was just to see if I can get you and Robin's autograph. That was the main thing. And then...
But even that didn't work out.
Right.
Yeah, but that's a pretty difficult thing to do. You got to come up with a good story.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no, but see, it wasn't even that. You're going to ask, well, where are you calling from and why are you in jail? You know what I mean? And I'm the type of person that, I don't have nothing to hide. What I did was wrong. And just like my attorney said, that you even agree with the death penalty. And I agree with the death penalty also. If you kill somebody, your life should be taken too.
So in other words, what you're saying is, hey, I am accepting my guilt.
Right.
But he's not accepting the death penalty.
No, see, Robin, I do accept it. If that's what comes...
He's saying if it comes down to the death penalty, he'll do the death penalty.
Yeah, but he's fighting it, is what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you?
Robin?
You might as well.
Don't. Just go. Dance down that aisle.
Robin, there's a lot of stuff in between there. I was messed up at the time. Now see, and that homo Linroth is going to say...
Wait a second. Hold it. Back off.
This is the way to help your case.
Let me say something. First of all, do not call the prosecutor a homo. Because listen, it's obvious that you're angry with the guy.
I don't hear what he's saying.
No, let me say something. Let me just teach you a lesson. First of all,
this is like you going to practice piano.
The guy's job is to put you away for life or get the death penalty for you. You ought to understand something. By the way, it says in the newspaper article that the parents of the girl do not get along with you.
See, and that's not. See, he doesn't know. He doesn't know half the stuff. Before, when I wasn't using drugs, Mr. Stern, we wasn't using drugs and stuff, I was an okay guy. I went to work. I did the things that I was supposed to do, and I was in the AA and NA program, and I was trying to get my life together.
So you had used drugs before. You had stopped for a little while.
Right, and I was trying to get clean. Deborah had a little over 3 years clean. She was in AA and NA herself.
Right.
And her dad, I mean, she, you know, and they'll contradict it, and they'll say things. Her dad, I mean, a lot of times she didn't get along with her dad.
Yeah, but the point is, here's the point. You see, you can go on and on and on.
I know,
But you cut her head off. She's dead. You're alive. You admit to doing it. And now it's time to pay the piper, right?
Right.
So, you know, dude.
He's just asking the charge.
To sit and get pissed off at the prosecutor and start calling him disparaging names and stuff isn't cool because listen, man, that's his job to put you away.
He didn't cut anybody's head off.
Yeah, you did.
See, Robin, it's not a joke, and I'm
not
trying to
joking.
be serious, Mr. Stern.
Right.
What I'm trying to say is that Linroth didn't have to come off. Like, he doesn't even know me. He says think about Cavalier, and that's what I've heard about him, or something like that.
Well, you'll have your day in court.
Listen to this. They came in my room on Saturday. They brought the goon squad in here. They over my cell. They made me walk in my underwear down to the second floor, handcuffed behind my back, and I was just reading the article. They taped off my room with that yellow crime scene tape.
Yeah. Wow.
They taped off my room.
Yeah.
They're video cameraing stuff, and they took the local paper. They took the article. I mean, you know, I was just reading. I was reading the whole paper.
Right.
And they, you know, they're in there with the video camera, and Sergeant Darnell called me an a-hole, you know, for talking to Stern and just ruining his day. They took my Walkman. Now, granted, you're not allowed to have a radio on there, okay?
Yeah.
But I can name 60 other people in this jail that have them.
Lee, it's prison. That's what you are in prison. You understand?
I know. I love the guys who complain
about prison. Dude, you chopped off someone's head. I hope it's uncomfortable for you.
If I have one lieutenant and one sergeant saying, giving it back to me once we had an incident here, okay?
Dude, Lee, listen to me. Listen, I'm going to talk sense to you.
You know what I would say, Howard? It's a good thing he's locked up.
Yeah, Lee.
Because listen to him.
Lee, listen to me. Lee, you listening to me?
Yes, Mr.
All right. I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with you calling the show. I'm not sure why they'd be pissed off about that. If anything, you help make their case easier, right?
But it doesn't make their case easier because you can go yourself, a person of the public, and go right to the courthouse and get all the transcripts that I've said. My attorney is going to do a news release today. He's going to comment. He didn't comment on Friday because he didn't know where he stand. You know where we standed. He thought I was stupid for doing it also. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, he doesn't agree with what I've done.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And that's something that I took upon myself to do.
All right. What is the goal, Lee? What is the goal here? To get you life in prison as opposed to the death sentence?
It's to do whatever, you know, present their case, you know, and I'll present, you know, my attorney will present my case.
Lee is murdering Lee is murdering the English language.
I know, as he goes along.
Yeah. Lee. Hey, Lee, what was that noise I just heard?
That was the toilet, the next cell over, somebody flushing the toilet.
Oh, you got a toilet in your cell?
Yeah, well, we all got a toilet in our cell, and...
Not bad.
You have individual cells?
Yeah.
But when you go to the bathroom, there's no door on the toilet, right?
There's 16 with us. Don't push this phone, dude, because if you'll knock it, and it'll go right out on this gentleman. The trustee comes down the tree. He just fed us.
Oh, he just fed you?
Yeah, they feed us.
And you're yelling at the trustee not to push the phone?
Yeah, because it's got a short in it. If you push the phone, it'll wow.
Oh, I wouldn't yell to the guy. I wouldn't yell at the guy who brought me my food.
No, well, you know.
Lee's into the justice of everything.
Yeah, right.
He's
Lee.
right and everybody else is wrong.
Yeah, Lee. Lee, that's probably going to be your home for the rest of your life. I would just
and you're going to be dealing with trustees from now on.
Yeah, Lee, I don't see you getting out anytime soon.
It's a little bit different. You get a little bit more respect in the prison.
Oh, if you act a little tough.
You know about prison?
Excuse me?
You know about prison?
He's been there for a year.
I don't know about it. I just, what I hear about it from the different guys in here.
Yeah.
See, this is just jail.
I mean, some of it's not so good. You know what I mean? If I do end up on death row, you know, I'll probably be up in San Quentin with what's that guy's name, Richard Ramirez. He's on death row.
Right. You'll be a celebrity up there with the rest of them.
Yeah, he's a nice guy to hang out with.
Yeah, you'll be able to talk to him.
You're a piker compared to him.
All right, so anyway, so what happened to you? So after you spoke to us, I know the district attorney wants a copy of the show,
right,
but...
And I read Tom Chiafano said it's okay, but you have to have a subpoena.
Right.
You know, and that's no problem. Let the district attorney get whatever he wants.
Right.
You know what I think is interesting?
Because what I've said to you, I have also said to the police.
Right. You've already given your confession.
Right.
Right.
So there isn't nothing that I haven't said to you
that you haven't said to them.
First.
Right.
What's funny to me is they took his radio, not the phone.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
I don't think they could take the phone away from you. There's some weird prison.
You know what, Mr. Stern? They did take the phone away from me back when the investigation was going on my case. They took it away, and my attorney went and got it.
So did your attorney? Listen to me, Lee. Did your attorney yell at you for?
Yeah, he came up here about 8:30 in the evening and yelling at me.
What, for calling me?
Yeah. Well, you know what I mean. Just what are you doing?
What are you
had
doing?
A Miranda issue.
Right. What's a Miranda issue?
That's, where they read you your rights and, all the things that lead into getting a confession and all that.
Oh, so he was challenging the confession. Oh, I see. He was challenging the confession, saying it was gotten illegally.
Right, because...
And now you just confessed on the air all over again, so...
Because I knew somebody... Well, I was talking with this guy named John. I'll just say his first name. He's a police officer in Los Gatos. And, he had been up to our house on another issue. And so I kind of could relate to him. And he said when I got out of jail on this other issue...
Hey, let me ask you something. Yeah. Why do you think you chopped your girlfriend's head off? Were you fighting with her that night?
No. See, do you have time that I can explain it to you?
Anytime a guy chops a girl's head off, I want to know why. So I have more than enough time.
Right, this is a special.
Let me see if I can pencil in some time.
Okay, back in January, of the 7th of January, somewhere around there, I had robbed my next-door neighbor's house.
Yeah.
I had quit my job at this tile company. I had gotten all messed up on drugs, and I couldn't work anymore, so I quit. I got my last check, and I quit.
So you robbed your neighbor's house.
And I robbed my neighbor's house while they were away in Michigan.
Right.
Stole about $70,000 worth of stuff.
Were you a suspect in that case?
What?
Were you a suspect?
I left my pants and stuff there.
He always leaves a trail. That's one thing.
You honest criminal.
In their house. And
why would you leave your pants if you were going to rob? Why do you think you left your... Nothing mattered but to get the next high. Okay.
And why are you out of your pants when you're robbing a house?
Yeah, why would you take your pants off?
I had taken a shower there and everything, okay? And
why would you take a shower in the house you were robbing?
They're our next-door neighbors. We were friends at one point.
All right, and what happened? Like you said, I know they're going to be away, so now I can shower?
Right. Deborah had taken them to the airport.
Right.
And they left her car, and I went, and we had gotten to a fight. I left.
You and Deborah got in a fight.
What's that?
You and Deborah.
Yeah.
Right.
And I had left. Now this is before the thing ever happened.
All right, so you and Deborah got in a fight the night that you robbed your friend's house?
Right.
She was angry that you robbed the house?
No, she was angry that I was messed up on drugs again.
Right.
So I left the house, and because the cops were coming, I left the house and hid up in the woods. When the cops came back, I went up and I hid up in these people's house that live right behind us.
Right.
And I stayed there until the next morning, and I got all messed up and was drinking, and I made some steaks in their house and slept on their couch.
All right, now let me get this straight. I got to understand what you did here, because you're pretty wild. So, okay. After you rob your friend's house and you take a shower there for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're showering there.
Like, because he can't go home.
But he could have gone to Deborah's apartment and showered.
His girlfriend's angry at him.
She was gone. She had went to her mom's house.
Oh.
So, I could have got back in the house. I have the keys to the house.
Yeah, you could have.
But I just think he would be...
one because maybe the cops would have came back.
Okay. So anyway, whatever. I'm not following why you showered there, because to me...
Because I stayed in their house because I didn't feel like if I went and stayed in my house, in mine and Deborah's house, that if I stayed there, the cops may creep up while I'm sleeping and arrest me or tell me to leave the premises.
But you hadn't done anything yet.
No, he had a fight with her, and she called the police.
Oh, okay, now I'm understanding.
Yeah.
Oh, you had a fight with Deborah. She could have called the cops.
Right, we had a thing.
Okay. So you rob your friend's house. You take a shower.
Right, and I stay there the night. I'm drinking their wine.
You're drinking their wine. You're getting really high. Then you run off into the woods.
No, then that's before that.
Oh.
And then and then I run to their house and I pop their window latch. I go in their house.
Right.
And I'm staying in their house overnight. The next day I call up a friend that lives in Los Gatos, and I have him come to the house and unload some of this, take some of the stuff out of the house, stereo and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Really nice.
And I went and I sold it, you know, for whatever. And
what do you get for that stuff?
$70,000 that I got, but
how much did you get?
I think about altogether about $6,000.
Wow.
For $70,000 worth
and in
of
4
stuff?
days, I went and I spent.
You're some businessman, Lee.
Well, when you're trying to get high, you don't care. You get whatever you can. I went down to the Gooks and just sold it to them.
Right.
And,
The Gooks take that stuff.
Well.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, and Gook knows a good deal when he sees one.
Yeah.
Saw Lee coming.
Saw Lee coming. Me see Lee coming. All right. So
I sell the stuff, and I'm getting high with this dude.
Right.
And we're getting high for 4 or 5 days, and
4 or 5 days,
not sleeping.
4 or 5 days. Now, where are you getting high for 4 or 5 days?
In motels and stuff.
Okay.
I had one motel, and I started tweaking out, and I got in the cab, and I went to another motel, and I got another motel.
Now, the whole time that you're doing this 5-day high in the hotels, are you mad at Deborah for calling the police?
No.
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 All right, but you get high from.
So after this, I was planning on going to Canada now that I had robbed their house.
Right.
You know, because I didn't want to go to prison. I have never been to prison before.
Right. You figure, let's get out of the country.
And why go for a short while if you're going?
Exactly.
Well, I was from an attorney friend of mine. I was only going to get 4 years.
Okay. So how do you end up at Deborah's house and cutting her head off?
Well, I went back after I had run out of money, and we were at this motel, and this dude fell out on me.
Mm-hmm.
And
what do you mean he fell out?
He went into some type of seizure. This dude stopped breathing on me, so I started shaking him. And I took his shirt and stuff off and grabbed him and took towels and put it all over his chest and his head and just tilted him to the side because it sounded like he was choking on his tongue. And
did he die?
No, he about, I'd say about 5-10 minutes later he came to, but he was like real like schizo, like standing in the corner and screaming. I said, Ben, you got to cool out, Holmes, because you know what I'm saying?
This guy at least got some life going on.
Yeah, and this is normal to him. People freaking out and having seizures. You know, he knows exactly what to do.
Sounds like Jackie's house. So anyway, how do you end up at Deborah's house?
So I go, and I call Deborah. She's at work, and I say, Deborah, I'm leaving for Canada. I got some friends up in Canada, and I'm going to Canada.
Right.
And she says, well, Lee, I want to see you before you go.
Boy.
Those are the worst words ever said.
I'm like, Deborah, no, I'm just going to go. And she's saying, please, I want to see you. So she comes in, she picks me up.
Right.
Up on 14th and Reed, and takes me to Denny's. We go to Denny's. We have dinner because I hadn't ate like in 4 or 5 days. We go and we eat dinner, and then she says, Lee, I want you to come home.
Did you get through high school?
Yeah.
How do you graduate high school with his grammar?
Jeez. It's easy in America today.
Yeah. That's the worst part of this whole case.
How bad is my grammar?
You got real bad grammar.
Really?
Yeah.
Probably from hanging out with the,
here he goes, blaming somebody else again.
Who from hanging out with who?
The brothers.
Oh, I got you. Well, that's it. Blame the black man.
All your problems are the black man's fault.
I thought he was going to blame Denny's food.
I think that's why he cut her head off.
Right.
He only took him to Denny's.
Good thing you eat at Denny's. That's the only place you can go to get away from the black man.
They got served right away.
Damn right. All right. So anyway, so then
she says I wanted to go home with you now. Knowing that I robbed my neighbor's house a couple of days ago, I can't go home. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying, Deborah, I can't go home with you. She says, I want you to come home. What you will do is you sneak up through the woods, and you come through the side window. So I do that, and I get out. She drives up past our house. I get out, and I go through the woods, and I climb through. She opens the side bedroom window. And the whole time I stay there for about another 3 or 4 days before all this happens. And in the meantime, I'm getting high while she's at work, and I got some acid that I had bought down on Santa Clara Street here, and I'm doing that, and I'm just getting totally wasted, which is against her, against her morals because she doesn't, she has a little kid and she's not allowed to have that type of stuff around in the house and stuff like that because of her kid comes on the weekends.
It's too bad you're not black, man, because you would still be at Denny's waiting to get served, and none of this would have happened.
That's right.
So
anyway, so you're at the house and you're getting high for 4 days and you're doing acid and like crack and stuff.
Where are you getting all these drugs? You had no money.
Well, you got $6,000 from the Gooks.
No, they used it up in the hotel.
I didn't. I still had money.
Oh,
I didn't. You can't in 4 or 5 days. $6,000. I mean, it goes a while.
It lasts for a while.
Buy $100 sack.
Yeah, you buy a $100 sack, you get...
Yeah, you can buy it in bulk when you got that kind of money.
I mean, $6,000, you should be able to get high for a couple of days. Unless your habit's
I guess
completely
they
out of
weren't
control.
staying at the kind of hotels I was.
Yeah, right. You stay at a hotel that's $6,000 a day. All right, so then you're at Deborah's house.
There and
now, did you get into a fight that day?
no, see, the problem was it was getting ready to be I think Friday, and her son was coming. Now I had to leave. Okay, I was going to come back down to Santa Clara here, down to San Jose on Santa Clara, stay at some friend's house.
Go ahead.
And stay until Bucky left again so Bucky wouldn't know, because then he may, because he's friends with the neighbors, may say, oh, Lee's next door, or, because he didn't know nothing about it.
Okay.
And so...
Let's not use the child's name.
Okay. Well, no, that's not his name.
That's not his name.
No.
It's someone else's name.
All right.
Yeah, so go ahead.
So we go on, and then finally she comes home that night, and she tells her friend at the office, and she's smiling. She's all smiling because when I told her I was going to Canada, she was crying and stuff like that. And so she tells her friend. Her friend says to her, I won't say your friend's name, but she says that son of a is back.
Wait a second. Let me get this straight. So So in other words, you guys were making love for 4 days. You were like being boyfriend and girlfriend.
Right, and I would
everything was going good. You were getting high a lot. You were getting a little bit out of your mind. Right. But then at what point? What set you off? Do you think?
It sounds like that's coming up.
Well, he says that she was at work.
Okay, she would go to work, right, Mrs. Stern? She'd go to work, and I would stay in the bedroom. It was a back bedroom. Okay, because our neighbors are directly behind us. We have the same driveway.
Okay.
And they're right behind us. And if I was to go into the kitchen, you can look from their top of their kitchen window down into our backyard, into our kitchen. So it was like I pretty much just stayed from the...
All right, so you were hiding out in the bedroom.
Right.
And what happened? Did you guys get into a fight? Because
no, we had made love.
Yeah.
Okay, we had been making love for a couple days, and I was just smoking that stuff. And
right.
I had took an acid before she had come home.
You took an acid.
You took an acid.
A couple hours before she had come home.
Yeah.
And so I was tore up. And she knew I was tore up. I mean, she even called the cops on me one time because we had got domestic violence. And
but she hadn't. But this time you didn't have any domestic violence, right?
No.
You didn't.
No, we were just thinking of a way. And
you were thinking of a way for you to get out of the country, right?
No, we were thinking of a way. She wanted me to turn myself in.
Oh, okay. So she said to you, "Why don't you turn yourself in for the robbery?" And maybe.
Right, but she didn't want me to turn myself in right away. We wanted to go over this, and we had a friend of ours who's a public defender.
Right.
And she wanted to talk with her some more. Wanted me to talk with her.
Right.
And see what options I had.
So at this point, you're feeling a lot of pressure because you don't know which way to turn.
30 seconds remaining. I'll have to call you back.
All right.
Here we go again.
Hello? Wait a second.
This is like a cliffhanger.
Wait, he'll call back. Hold it. Let me take a break, and then we'll get back to this. I got to find out why he killed him. Maybe I better just wait for him to call back.
Because if he calls back immediately, we don't want to waste any time in commercials.
Yeah.
He only has that time limit.
Yeah, Lee has 20 minutes on the phone. I just got to figure out why a guy...
See, I don't think he has a reason.
Well, let's see. Want to put some bets on it?
Yeah.
As long as we're playing the game
Wait, he has a reason for nothing in his life.
You know he's going to come up with some reason, though. Don't bet that way, because you're going to be sorry.
No, because he's blaming the drugs.
Let's see.
I don't know what that one little tale was. There was a little piece there you cut off where he said she was already telling her friends that so-and-so is back again. Like she was complaining to her friends about him.
Now, hold on. I don't think it mattered. It wasn't relevant.
Yeah.
That sounded like it was.
Hello.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, Lee.
You last left us.
Yeah. So who are those guys yelling in the background?
Somebody was calling me.
Oh, really? Who's that?
Some Mexican dude.
Mexican dude, like a prisoner?
What's he in for?
Yeah.
What did he do?
Drive-by shooting.
Oh. Anyway, so
Nice company.
Are these guys pretty mellow in there, or are they hassling you?
What's that?
Are they hassling you in there?
Who?
Like the Mexican guy and stuff. No?
They don't even come out of their cells, it doesn't sound like.
Are you a pretty muscular dude? I mean, can you handle yourself?
I mean, I weigh now, at the time when I was spoofing, I weighed from like 180 down to like 130. I weigh 212 now.
No.
Wow.
Are you fat?
No, I'm kind of...
How tall are you?
Are you muscular?
Kind of.
Yeah?
I mean, I got little arms and stuff like the chest, but...
How tall are you?
5'11".
Right, all right. So anyway, Lee.
What's that?
So, Lee.
Yeah.
So I don't understand something. So then you're with, okay, so you're with her, and she's trying to get you legal advice and stuff and figuring out how to protect you about the robbery in your friend's house, because at this point the cops have got to be looking for you because your neighbors are already reporting you, right?
Right.
They've already discovered the robbery.
They had come back on a Monday, and they had called over and said, Deborah, he took everything.
So already they're searching for you, right? The cops.
Yeah.
Okay. So the cops have probably already questioned her as to where you are.
Right.
But she said you're not around.
She doesn't know yet. But she knows I'm still around, but she doesn't, because my stuff is still at the house.
Yeah,
she doesn't, she knows I'm down in San Jose somewhere.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm saying, Deborah, you were in her bedroom for 4 days.
No, when they came back on a Monday and she had talked to Deborah, I was still out.
Okay, all right, but I'm saying by the time that you got into Deborah's bedroom and everything...
She knew exactly where you were.
Yeah, we were keeping it a secret.
She was helping to keep you hidden, right?
Right.
All right, until you could talk to this friend of hers. And she was saying, hey, turn yourself in.
Right.
And meanwhile...
We were debating on what to do. I wanted to go to Canada, and she says, well, I want you to talk to Steffi first.
Okay, so did you talk to Steffi?
Yeah.
All right, you talked...
Talk to Steffi and find out. Steffi says that, you're looking at 4 years.
Right.
And I was going to call Steffi, but I just got so strung out that I said to hell with it.
Right, so you got real strung out, and then you were going to split for Canada.
Yeah.
You decided to hell with it, I'm going to go to Canada.
Yeah.
So how do you end up killing your girlfriend?
I just flipped out. I was going to kill myself, and the next thing you know, I spun out.
Well, wait a second. Wait.
Oh,
let me get
the
this.
Gene Harris defense.
Oh, let me get this.
I was going to kill myself, and I wound up killing somebody else.
You can't end the story like that. That's not good. Now wait a second. So what time did you do this at night? This killing?
It was sometime during the day. I can't even remember.
All right, wait a second.
Spun out when I.
All right, wait a second. She came home from work, right?
Right.
To be with you.
Well, what had happened was when she was at her office, her friend said, "He's not there again, is he?" And Deborah was all smiles. You know what I'm saying? She told her girlfriend that works at the office, yes, he is.
Oh.
And
so you got mad because she told her girlfriend?
No, I didn't get mad. Her girlfriend was mad at Deborah because Deborah had let me back in.
All right. So when Deborah came home, was she upset?
No.
So when Deborah came home, was she like, oh my God?
She knew that I had been smoking.
Right. Did she get mad at you for?
Smell it in the house.
Did she get mad at you for smoking?
Well, well, she got like she usually gets. She says, you've been smoking, haven't you?
And so she was hassling.
Not hassling. She just says, you've been smoking in the house again, haven't you?
Yeah, but it sounds like...
I said, yeah, well, I told her, well, where else can I go? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, where am I supposed to smoke?
Sit out in the backyard and keep poofing,
Right, so you were like, well, where am I supposed to smoke? I mean, this is where I smoke. I got to get high.
You asked me in, and I have to smoke here.
It wasn't even...
You invited... but you were saying...
She said, you've been smoking again, and I said, yeah.
Yeah, and then when she said that to you, you got kind of agitated, maybe.
No, there was no agitation. I didn't get agitated.
You didn't?
She says, well, you know Bucky's coming.
Right.
And
she was mad because she didn't want to...
We had to sit down, and, I was going to go back down to San Jose until... the weekend was over and Bucky went back, and then we were going to sit and we were going to talk about our options, what options we had. She didn't want me to go to Canada.
So did you make love that afternoon? When she came in, did she say, hey, you're going to have to leave to go to, leave because my kid's coming?
Not at first, no. We were making love. Bucky had called.
Right.
And she had talked to Bucky, and then I turned around, and because I couldn't tell her to give me the phone because I didn't want Bucky to know I was there. Bucky thought I was already going back to New Jersey. Already went back to New Jersey. So I turned around and I called Bucky right back and tell him, hi, how you doing, and stuff like that, and I miss you and stuff.
All right, so at what point so you make love to her, and when she, did you chop her head off after you made love?
We were supposed to go take a shower.
Yeah.
And after that, I blanked out.
You were supposed to take the shower, so she was naked when you cut her head off.
We both were naked.
You were both naked, and somehow you cut her head off in the shower?
No, it was. They say that it was in the bedroom. That we were in the bedroom. That was the last thing that I remember was being in the bedroom. And I remember rocking Deborah.
Well, you were right, Robin. He doesn't.
He has no excuse.
No excuse. I don't understand. Something must have set it off. Deborah must have said something to you.
She didn't.
You don't remember,
Mr. Stern. She She did nothing. She said nothing out of the ordinary that she doesn't.
Maybe you made a suicide pact. You said, hey, I'm going to kill myself. And she said, let's do it together or something.
She knew that I was real depressed and everything, and that I didn't know which way to turn. I didn't know what to do, whether to run off to Canada.
Do you remember getting the knife?
Excuse me?
Do you remember getting the knife?
No.
You don't?
I just remember I remember going to the kitchen and coming back to the bedroom, and that was it.
So when you had the knife, were you there saying, hey, I'm going to kill myself with this knife?
What's that?
Did you say I'm going to kill myself with the knife?
I had contemplated it. I had contemplated it earlier. You know, like the whole couple of days that I'd been there, because I didn't know what to do. I was so messed up on the crack, and I was blown away. You know, I'm sitting there.
So maybe you were sitting there with a knife saying, hey, Deborah, I'm going to kill myself.
No, but she would be at work, and she knew that I would call her 4 or 5 times a day. And there's a lot more in betweens that...
Yeah, I don't want to know anymore.
You know what? I hope every enabler in the world is listening to this right now.
Yeah, Fred. Fred's an enabler.
What do you think that phrase?
Anyway, So I think you were maybe sitting there with a knife saying, hey, I'm going to kill myself or something. And then
she tried to stop it?
Maybe she tried to stop you.
No.
You don't know, though.
No. She wasn't angry.
Maybe you were mad that you had
in the house. There wasn't no argument or anything.
Maybe you were mad that you had to leave her and you didn't want her. You didn't want any of the guys to get her. So
no.
If you couldn't have her, no one could.
No. We wanted to find out the best solution through Stephanie to find out what to do.
Well, I think you found it.
You found the best solution.
He faced 4 years or take off to Canada. She didn't want me to go to Canada. So.
Well, she got her wish.
I don't know. She must have given you some kind of rule, like no more smoking in the house, and you flipped out. There had to be something.
Why do you think there had to be something?
That had happened.
Something ticked you off.
Like that. That was like a ground rule, you know, because...
I'm telling you, though, something ticked you off. You didn't want to be hassled.
It had nothing to do with not being happy or not being... It was...
You were aggravated.
No, the only thing that it was, I mean, I was facing 4 years, or I had to go to Canada. Now, I'm all screwed up. I just robbed my next-door neighbors for $70,000 worth of stuff. I'm poofing nonstop, 24 hours a day.
I wish you'd stop. I hate that term.
Come on, let the guy talk, yeah? Go ahead.
Well, that's what they say.
Yeah, I know. You were poofing 24 hours a day. Go ahead, yeah.
You know, and for 5-6 days, and then 3 or 4 more days after that, and I'm just straight up poofing. When they found me in San Francisco, I was poofing. When they pulled the car over, I just threw a 20 round on there, and when all these floodlights and guns were on me, I'm in the car poofing.
All right, Lee. So listen, Lee,
let's just ask one thing. You knew you had killed her.
What's that?
Yeah, he knew he killed her.
You knew you had killed her.
When I was laying there rocking her, I just couldn't believe what had happened. And the first thing I thought was, I panicked and I ran. Instead of turning myself in.
Hey, Lee, you got to let us be there when they kill you.
They're not going to kill him.
They're going to execute him.
No, they're not.
Why do you say no?
It's in the article you read that he's not being tried on the death penalty.
How come they're not trying him on the death penalty?
I don't know.
Mr. Stern?
Yeah. Lee might be able to shed some light on that.
Linroth contradicted himself, okay, all right, Tony Russolano from KPXI, Channel 5, talked to me on the phone.
Talk to who, you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He also is on KPXI, Channel 5. They're also saying, well, Newman can face the death or the gas chamber now, and woo-woo, this and that. And then, but Linroth says in the paper, woo-woo-woo, this and that.
All right, listen, Lee, you're losing me. I gotta go anyway. I got a ton of stuff to do today. But if for some fluke they do kill you, let us be there, okay?
All right.
Because Robin and I would like to do a show from there.
All right.
You know, and we'll get some girls and everything to watch.
It'll be an extravaganza.
Yeah, for TV and radio.
Can Jackie be there in person?
Yeah, Jackie will be there in person.
The whole gang.
Yeah.
Tell him to bring one of his CDs.
Jackie, bring your CD.
What, are you taking that to hell with you?
No, Jackie could be like our job. He could cut Lee's neck off with the CD. Just wing it into him.
Just wing it in.
Yeah. All right, Lee. Well, certainly sounds like you're a mess.
Now I'm without my radio, so I can't listen to your show anymore.
I hear you.
What are you going to do about this?
You know, actually, Robin and I designed the show for prisoners, mostly.
You'd be surprised, Mr. Stern, how many people listen to your show here.
I know it.
No, we wouldn't.
And up in San Quentin and Folsom and Pelican Bay and all them.
When's the last time you had sex?
A little over a year.
Yeah, the last time was with the girl he killed.
Yeah. Boy, that's a thank you. So what do? You just take care of yourself every night?
Well, no, not really. No. No comment.
You got enough of that. You don't?
That got him into trouble.
Next door said tell you hello.
Who did?
Little Joe.
Little Joe says hi? Is that the guy who was in for the drive-by?
No, that's another dude.
What's he in for?
I don't know. He's waiting to take a plane back to where he came from.
Oh, he's being extradited for his crimes. Sounds marvelous.
Say hi to Little Joe, and if Haas and Adam are in there, just say hi.
He said to say hello, Little Joe, and to you, Milton, and Flacco said hello, too.
Say hi to Flacco.
And Flacco said hello. He said hello, too, Flacco.
All right, very good.
Hey, can I speak to Gary Delabate real quick?
Yeah, hold on.
Okay.
Lee's got a lot of time on his hands, so he's just looking to speak to anybody. Oh, here's the Lee story again.
Man.
Well, now they can subpoena another tape.
Yeah.
Anything we can do to help. We're getting all the information we can.
Right. We just about cracked that case. Scarier than talking to Henry Hill, I'd say.
Ooh.
All right.
A lot less normal than he did the other day.
Yeah, he sounded more normal the other day.
The more you talk.
Yeah, he's got a whole bunch of details in there. I'm not sure they lead anywhere.
I love the logic. You know, like everything is, he created this whole mess that created this crisis in his life.
Yeah.
And now I don't know what to do.
Yeah, what is it?
Boy, he is lonely.
Right.
Because he just said, hey, listen, Gary, I know Howard can't send me his autograph, but, you do a really good job, too, so could you send me yours? And I said, he goes, you're a good guy. And I said, I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, right.
But, he can't hear it, so don't worry.
All right, we got to take a break, and we'll be back right after these words.
It's the Howard Stern Show. Here's Howard.
On our phone, we have one of the Baldwin brothers. Which Baldwin is this?
Didn't you tell me it was Danny? Daniel?
Which one is Danny?
The one you don't know.
Have I spoken to him?
Yes.
When did I speak to him?
Once. I think he called us from a plane, as a matter of fact.
He's got the hotline number that he got it from Belzer.
Yeah.
So he calls a lot, and he doesn't always get on. But
yeah, he's the guy in Homicide with Belzer.
Yeah.
That's right.
You got Alec Baldwin, who's married to Kim Basinger. Wait, let me get this straight. Hey, Danny.
Yeah.
How you doing, man?
Free Lee.
Free Lee, yeah.
Free Lee.
Free Lee so we can kill him.
No, man, I'm telling you, I have a theory. His Bronco wasn't there.
Right.
I know for a fact, he had been smoking crack. He had freshly ejaculated, which, as you know, forensic medicine-wise, this can cause you to pass out immediately.
Exactly.
And the team of angry throat surgeons came in, and the rest is history.
You make a good point because...
Are you willing to testify?
That's exactly what the O.J. trial is. It's just like they're trying to, cast aspersions on the police. They're trying to, screw everything up by saying that the police didn't, they didn't wear booties and this and that. Meanwhile, O.J.'s blood is all over the place. And as far as... Did you see that woman, Rosa Lopez, they pulled in?
Yes, I wouldn't put my life in her hands.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, she got up on the stand. Within 5 minutes, she was lying.
First, she was wearing a house coat.
Yeah, I mean, come on, get a little dress. And she was downright arrogant.
Yeah.
Well, they had just, recently cut the straps on Rosa to get her out of that straitjacket.
I think so. I mean, she was downright arrogant and mad and pissed off and everything else. I mean, and by the way, she's testifying that she's not sure, but she thinks she saw O.J.'s Bronco out in front of the house all the time.
The other thing she says is that she heard a lot of loud voices.
Yeah.
So if O.J. was talking to somebody, bring them forward.
Right.
No. I think you got that wrong, Robin. I think she always hears a lot of loud
Yeah, I think she's hearing them right now.
Yes.
That's right.
But what's funny about it is, too, there's this guy who's a limousine driver who was actually checking his watch all night. He was parked in front of O.J.'s house. He's saying there was no Bronco in front of that house.
Nobody would answer the door.
No one would answer the door. He's perfectly credible, but the defense is going to bring this woman who is questionable.
Doesn't even know where her plane reservations are.
He's so guilty, and yet I have this sneaking suspicion that he's going to walk.
Oh, you know what? He's going to walk.
He is.
Oh, don't say it.
If he
No, he's
walks,
gonna walk.
if he walks, forget it. Hey, Danny, let's clear up which Baldwin you are.
I'm the Baldwin.
All right, hold on.
There is only one. Have you ever seen any of us in the same room together?
Alex with Kim Basinger.
Right.
Yeah.
And he, of course, is with Kim Basinger. Okay. Stephen is the guy we had the bachelor party for on the air.
Steven's the guy at the bachelor party.
And he's married. And what'd you do? You just left your wife?
Yeah, we just recently got divorced.
Hey, so you're free, huh? Hubba,
Free
hubba.
Baldwin.
A
That's
free
something
Baldwin.
you don't have right now.
The first Baldwin to leave his wife. And it won't be the last.
Yeah, now Steven's got the wife with the wild name. What's her name?
Yeah.
Kenya.
Kenya. Wild as an African.
Right, and Billy's with China Phillips.
Yeah.
Just recently announced he's getting married to her.
Yeah, I don't blame him for doing that. I'd marry her for like 10 years until she gets the change of life. Hey, so that must have cost you a pretty penny, divorcing your wife.
Yeah, I got hammered.
Yeah. Oh, man.
What happened to the marriage? You were so much in love.
Yeah. Who was he married to?
This is Robin, who's on the phone a minute ago going, Danny, but yeah, I don't know. But I was so much in love now.
Yeah, but wait a second. When did you get married?
5 years ago.
And did you marry like a Hollywood type?
No, she's an actress, but she hasn't worked a lot.
Yeah, right. So you know what happens? Daniel's out there in Hollywood. He's working. He's doing his thing. He's a Baldwin. He's got one brother with China Phillips. Got another one with Kim Basinger.
And the other one with Kenya.
And the guy starts to think, hey, maybe I gotta better my situation.
Yeah, maybe I got a bad deal.
Yeah. Maybe it's time. So what do you do? Are you dating?
Maybe it was Billy hadn't announced that he was with China yet, so maybe she thought she could climb the Baldwin ladder.
But how do you do it? I mean, after like you just walk in the house and you say, I'm leaving?
No. It didn't work out. You know, it was one of those things where we started growing apart.
Yeah, tell me about it.
But she's a really good mother. We have a daughter, Alexandra, and she's a good person.
And you guys are like maintaining a civil relationship?
Yeah, you know, I mean, as long as the check clears, she's happy.
And she's not really pissed off at you?
I don't think that she's my biggest fan.
So now,
she's not watching Homicide, in other words?
So when you get your freedom, who do you date first? Like, what do you do?
I'm with Isabella Hoffman.
Oh, Isabella Hoffman. Who is that? That sounds good, though. I'll take that.
Do you remember the sitcom Dear John?
Dear John.
Dear John, Judd Hirsch's show. It was on for 4 seasons.
I never watched it.
She must be hot, though.
She plays the shift commander on Homicide.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, you're dating a girl from the show.
Oh, so what happened? You fell in love with her while you were taping, huh?
No. It was Jess Recent, Howard.
Set romance.
That's right.
Oh, man.
Art imitating life or life imitating art.
So you two would go in the trailer while you were waiting to shoot and stuff, and then your wife caught you?
She is a little trailer queen.
Is she?
You know, this is how he grew apart.
You're not kidding. If your wife lets you alone on the set, you grow apart. Oh, man. How long before the Bells dumps his wife?
I don't know. I think the Bells, I don't know if the Bells can improve.
Yeah, right. I think the Bells is about...
I think he hit his peak,
He's pushed up to the limit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
And besides, she's on the show now, too.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Yeah, she plays the ME, the medical examiner.
I think Steven told me your parents were divorced, right?
They were separated.
Oh,
my dad died before it went through.
Oh, he did?
Oh, you're
he passed away in 83.
No kidding.
Yeah, young man, 56.
Wow. I guess that's why you have that live all you can attitude.
Yeah. I guess you might as well go for it. You never know how long you're going to live. Oh, man.
Make your mark now.
You know who you ought to date? Paula Barbieri.
Who's that?
That's the one OJ's dating.
Girl, yeah.
OJ's girl. And then he'll chop your head off when he gets out of prison.
It'll keep you in shape.
Hey, if I was you, though, man, I would just date up a storm. Dude, you got your freedom.
Why get hooked up with the girl?
They say all this stuff, but Allison is so cool,
Hey, you know why divorce is so expensive?
Why?
Because it's worth it. I mean, it's got to be great. So you never signed a prenuptial agreement when you got married?
No.
Oh.
But he's in California, right?
Yeah.
Community property.
Yeah, 50-50.
50-50.
So you lost the house and everything, huh?
Oh, it's over.
Oh.
Devastation.
I closed that deal with my lawyer, and I called my agent up and went, get me a job.
Yeah, give me extra work.
What are you talking about? You just did 22 episodes of Homicide. He said, yeah, that money's gone.
That money's gone. You book me in a circus. I don't care what it is.
He's moonlighting.
Yeah, right.
No. Yeah, I had to get something else quick.
Yeah, but at least you're dating, man. That's got to always be worth something.
Maybe Isabella will put you up.
Isabella.
That's right.
But don't marry her. Don't.
Isabella.
I can just picture you in bed. Isabella.
Oh, I do.
Oh.
I say, Isabella, do all those nasty things.
Yeah, man, you got it made. You got it made.
Yeah, it's definitely cool.
Yeah, the Baldwin family's pretty wild.
Oh, yeah.
We've been fooling for a little while. I keep waiting for him to catch on. I'll have to start banging nails again.
Yep.
But they haven't, so.
All right, so listen. I got to go.
Yeah?
Unless you cut off somebody's head. We
yeah.
can spend a lot of time.
Look, I'm in town for 4 days, so if I do anything like lop anyone's head off or anything, I'll give you a call.
Yeah, let me know what happens.
I'll give you an exclusive.
Yeah, and everyone else is okay? How's Kim Basinger?
Kim's doing great. Everyone's doing really well.
Your sister-in-law. And China Phillips, you ever see her naked? Nah.
She's pregnant.
Oh, is she really?
Yeah.
You ever see... I'm sure you have.
I just went to their birthday party on a boat in Miami. It was great.
That's a cool family, I'll tell you.
Sure. The party you
Howard, you got to come hang with the Baldwins. We love you guys.
Yeah, I know. I'm into
We
hanging
do
with
a 4 Baldwin show.
Yeah. That's pretty good. I heard wild stuff about you guys, even growing up.
Oh, wow. I have to come on and tell our story someday.
Yeah, legends on Long Island.
Oh, my God. It's scary. The fact that my mother still is capable of even speaking is amazing.
Yeah. All right. We'll come in sometime. We'll talk about it.
Okay.
All right.
Good talking to you.
All right. Take care.
Bye-bye.
That's Danny Baldwin, who's in Homicide.
Yeah.
Which I don't even know when that's on.
It's still on, though.
Yeah, it's on. It's a good show. I've seen it like twice.
It's after our bedtime.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool show.
Very good show.
All those cop shows are pretty cool.
Barry Levinson.
But the shows I watch are as follows. Beverly Hills 90210, Melrose Place. I watch
The Star Trek.
the new Star Trek,
Voyager series.
which is excellent. I watch the other Star Trek with the bald guy.
Okay, the old one.
Yeah, I watched that.
New generation, next generation, whatever it was called.
I saw a really cool movie on HBO this weekend.
What was it called?
Citizen X. Did you see it?
No, what's that about?
Did you watch it, Jackie?
No, but I got it on tape with Dinah watching.
Wait till you see it. It's really good. It's about...
The reviews were real good.
Yeah, they'll probably show it 100 times. It's about this... it's in Russia. Right before, Russia got some freedom and stuff.
Right.
So they had this mass murderer. And the people in Russia believed, all the bureaucrats believed, hey, we can't tell people there's a mass murderer because that's a decadent Western sort of thing.
Right, it'll prove that communism doesn't work.
Yeah, it's like communists don't mass murder. So this guy, like there's bodies of these kids showing up every day in the woods, and no one will help this guy out in terms of investigating, and they're telling him he's a screwball and all this kind of stuff. And it's his sort of triumph after 5 years of trying to find this mass murderer.
They wouldn't even let the people in the communities know, right?
No.
So that they could protect their
So
children.
they could be forewarned.
They wouldn't even publicize it.
Good system.
And the guy had it all figured out, but it didn't matter. It was just like no one would help him out. But it's cool. You got to watch it. It's a pretty good movie.
And isn't it the worst serial killer in history?
Yeah. I mean, he was killing people like 3 a day,
Oh, he got a real hearty appetite.
This guy was unbelievable.
Ooh.
He was a school teacher who got fired for fondling an 11-year-old's breasts. I didn't even know 11-year-olds had breasts.
Oh, man.
And then he went on some kind of killing spree.
I didn't know 11-year-olds.
It was like out of hand. And he killed young boys and girls. And then he would chop off boys' penises. He was pretty wild. And he was a real dick, real nerd. His wife, he couldn't even satisfy his wife. The only way he could satisfy anybody was by killing them and then sort of having sex with himself while he was killing them. It's a pretty cool movie. You got to check it out, though. It's not too depressing. It's done in a happy fashion.
It's a light serial killer movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good.
I kind of enjoyed Just Cause. I saw that this weekend. It didn't get good reviews.
What is that?
That's the new Sean Connery movie where he plays this lawyer who's against the death penalty, and he goes to defend this guy because he's been accused of a murder. He says he didn't commit, and he actually gets him off. But it's got a nice little twist to it.
That got hammered in the paper. Though.
I know, but it's not bad.
Talk about getting hammered, man. I got hammered in the L.A. Times on Friday.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, about my movie. I got hammered. I'm out of my mind over it.
I think I saw that article.
Do you have it?
It was a big article.
Yeah, it was a big article. It was all...
I might have it in my paper.
If you have it, can you give it to me and I'll read it on the air?
Sure.
Wait till you hear how I got hammered about how I'm difficult to work with.
Right, that you're throwing out every script.
Yeah, oh, man, I got plenty to say.
And that John Avildsen was thrown off because you would have had to do whatever he said.
Avildsen called me on Friday night and said, I don't know who this reporter is or what. I had never said any of these kind of things. David Kirkpatrick called me, a guy I've been working with for months now, who tells me I'm the easiest person in the world to work with. He is getting a retraction from the L.A. Times.
Well, they listed all the writers who you've rejected and all kinds of things.
Yeah, well, I know exactly how this article came about. I know, because all I know is, oofa. You know what?
You can explode.
You know what? Maybe I should just not even comment on it. I just know who's behind it. It seems like whenever I go to work...
Who's behind it?
It's the head of the movie studio that I work for. Meanwhile, this is a movie studio that has never produced a film yet. Let's be honest.
Why would they do that?
Because I don't know, people they want me to just make any movie that's bad, and they just want me to put out any one of these scripts. So I think they were behind it, but I don't know. You know, all I know is
that's going to make you more amenable to doing any script.
I got a letter from David Kirkpatrick, which really
New Line Cinema,
which really made me feel better. What?
Is that New Line Cinema?
No, Reicher.
Reicher? I get these people confused. You got to tell
Reicher.
me. Okay.
And David Kirkpatrick called me and just said he didn't say any of those things to the Los Angeles Times.
But
that he's getting a retraction.
Mm-hmm.
What?
I hate to interrupt, but Sting's wife is on the phone.
Oh, Trudy?
Yeah, Trudy.
I got to take a break, though. Should she wait for two or 3 minutes?
She's on a car phone in London.
Oh, man.
And Sting's driving the car, but we're not supposed to know that.
Why aren't we supposed to?
I don't know.
All right, let me just talk to her real quick.
And there's what you have to announce.
Hey, Trudy.
Is that my Howard?
How come I'm not supposed to know Sting's driving the car?
Well, he just waved his arms frantically when I said he was here. Like, you know.
What's his problem, man? What is he trying to keep low-key?
When we set this thing up, it was supposed to be Sting and Trudy calling in.
Yeah.
And then
well, you'll have to wait till we get to our office because he's one of these careful drivers. You know, he can't drive and talk.
He can't drive and talk? Is that it?
So then we got a call from the publicist saying that Sting is going to be too busy to call in, but I didn't realize driving was what he's going to be doing.
I don't know, Sting, you know what, quite frankly...
I guess I've landed him right in it, right?
Yeah, well, quite frankly, when you have Sting doesn't say a whole lot anyway.
He's right to say off the phone.
Howard says you don't say a whole lot anyway.
Now, this is funny. Now he's going to pretend he's not there.
No. He says it's true. He's agreeing with you.
You know what's funny about Sting? Sting's a real good-looking guy who can play an instrument and sing. So
and he writes well, too.
So he never had to develop a personality.
This is true.
Let's be honest. I mean,
Trudy has supported him.
Hey, Trudy.
They're really beating you up, sweetheart. Now, Howard, be a nice, gentle boy, please.
Yeah, but Trudy, you know the reason you're in love with Sting is because he can sing and play guitar. I mean, when it comes to personality, I have 20 times more personality than Sting. I mean, if you were going to fall in love with a guy for his personality, it would be me.
I am in love with you for your personality.
That's
Why
right.
do you think I keep talking to you on the phone?
Right. You're not really that in love with Sting. I mean, you probably don't even like being with him that much. Am I right?
No, you're wrong about that.
I'm not?
He's a great lover, you know.
Well, that's true.
Well, that's right. He spends the rest of
You've read all the press clippings, I'm sure. What?
Spends all day practicing yoga.
Hey, would you cheat? Would you ever cheat on Sting?
No.
She has.
Well, only with you.
So why don't we get together? Because, see, she wouldn't tell my wife.
I keep asking you.
She couldn't.
Yeah?
Your wife listens to the program every day. How are we supposed to arrange this?
No, you know what I mean. I wouldn't mind just rolling around with you a little bit, getting some sex.
Well, she invited you over to the apartment.
I did invite you over to the party. And where were you? Well, Sting wasn't there. You were just chicken.
No, you invited me over with a whole bunch of other people.
That doesn't mean they would have always
There are quite a lot of rooms in my apartment.
Is that right? No, invite me again. Maybe I'll get something going with you.
Well, I will. You should come to my party on April the 11th.
What is that all about?
Well, I'm glad you asked, because it's on the eve of It's Now or Never. Because Wednesday, the April 12th, is our big Rainforest night at Carnegie Hall.
You touch Sting's lap when he's driving?
Yes, my hand is on his thigh, even as we speak, Howard.
Really?
Let me get on with my announcement, then.
All right.
Don't interrupt us.
Tell us what you're wearing while you make the announcement.
I'm wearing my jodhpurs and black leather riding boots.
Really?
And a hacking jacket.
You know those pants that get big and baggy around the thighs, but then get very tight around
Not
the
mine, Robin. Yours might. Mine are very, very tight around the bum. Thank you very much.
All right. Trudy is making I'll make the announcement. Want me to do it?
Oh, go on, then.
Are you going to be mad about it?
What is she going to do if you make the announcement?
All right, here it is, the 6th Annual Rainforest Foundation International Benefit Concert. I went to it, I think last year. It was really good.
Year.
And you're coming this year, Howard, aren't you?
I wish you'd do it on a Friday so I could have make a night of it. I can't.
Well, you went early last year. You were gone by 10 o'clock, I recall.
Yeah, because how can it's the middle of the night. It's the middle of the week.
I did have a nice long chat with your wife, though. I found out who the real Howard Stern was.
Yeah, it's pretty pathetic, isn't it?
It really is.
All right, now listen to me. It's this year. It's going to be Sting, Elton John, Bruce Springsteen, James Taylor. I don't think we'll have any trouble selling tickets to this.
No.
Jesse Norman, who's that?
An opera singer, another opera singer.
No, you don't need him.
It's a she.
You don't know who Jesse Norman is. Howard just said, who's he?
You don't. Why do you have to clog it up?
Laughing derisively.
This is like maybe the coolest concert I've ever been to.
But you even enjoyed Pavarotti last year.
Yeah, that was kind of cool because you know what? Sting kept him on for like 2 seconds.
And Jessie is going to be phenomenal. Jessie will be phenomenal. She's singing Elvis Presley songs.
Yeah, but you
really eclectic.
Oh boy.
But you won't let her stay on more than a minute or so, right?
Howard,
come on,
don't
be honest.
Ignorant.
No, come on. You know.
I mean, think of those wonderful motorists, those poor people who are waiting in traffic lines, and you're showing your ignorance. Come on.
And she's getting annoyed with me. That's just sexual tension.
You like that, don't you, Howard?
I do.
You like it when I get mad at you.
And who's Jeffrey Oriyama?
Jeffrey Oriyama is a Ugandan artist. He's fantastic.
Does he have plates in his lips?
No, he doesn't have a plate in his lip. Don't be so cheeky.
Has he ever eaten any people? Has he ever eaten people?
You are too much sometimes. What about Brian Adams? You've left off Brian Adams.
Oh, is he there?
It's not on the list.
Oh, he's a surprise. Oh, whoops, I blew it.
There you go. So in other words, it's going to be Sting, Elton John, Bruce Springsteen, James Taylor, Brian Adams, and some woman named Jessie Norman.
And some woman named Jessie Norman. Jessie Norman, the greatest opera star in the world.
But let's just say that Jessie Norman will be on for just a few minutes.
But they rotate.
Yeah, they rotate. It's really...
Okay, let me carry on with my announcement now.
And this African guy, does he perform with any animals?
No, he does not.
Does he come out with...
He performs with his guitar.
No, a lot of these African guys will have like a zebra on stage or...
I've never seen that.
Oh, yeah.
And on to the entertainment, Howard, thank you. Followed by supper at the Waldorf Astoria. Kind of a 50s-style supper, really great.
Yeah.
We're going to have this great auction, and Harley Davidson are giving us a motorbike, and all the artists are going to sign it, so we'll be auctioning that for the Rainforest Foundation.
And what's real cool is you actually get to hang out with Sting and Bruce... I mean, they actually like walk around and hang out with you.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Like you did last year.
Remember last year when Ron Balsner ran Sting away from the table?
You didn't look so out of place, Howard.
I sat down at a table and I figured I'd wait for Sting to come over with Trudy because I would look kind of cool, like these guys were hanging out with me. So finally they come over, and I'm sitting at a table with Ron Delsner, who's the world's biggest bore. And he comes and he starts, hey, Sting was there to say hello to me.
Yeah, he started elbowing in on the conversation.
So Ron Delsner was over, hey, Sting, we got to do a show, huh, buddy? Hey, pal. And Sting runs away, and Trudy runs away, and that was the end of it. So I went home.
That's a great impersonation of Ron Delsner.
Yeah, the world's most annoying concert promoter.
It was hysterical.
You should say, we're at a stoplight. Sting could just say a quick hello.
All right.
Hi, Howard.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm driving.
You're driving?
I'm Trudy's driver now.
Don't you have somebody who drives you with your kind of money?
No.
Really?
No, I like to drive.
And is Trudy's hand in your lap while you drive?
She's sitting in the back. I'm wearing a cap.
That's pretty good. This concert looks very good. I'm going to go.
That's good, Howard.
Yeah, this should be real good.
You know they have talk radio now in England.
Oh, is that right? Does it suck or is it good?
It really sucks.
Yeah.
We got to get over there then.
Yeah, I'm going to get over there. See if you can
come over here.
Yeah, talk to some of your fancy friends and see if you can't get something arranged.
Okay, we'll do that.
All right.
Have you recovered any of your money?
Hey, yeah, Sting, you recovered any of your money?
Yeah, I got a lot of it back.
Oh, good.
Oh, good.
Yeah. That's great, huh?
We were worried about you.
That's just what Sting...
I knew you were.
That's just what Sting needs, more money. just have enough.
I'm gonna turn a corner now, so I'll see you soon.
All right, man.
God bless.
Right.
Trudy.
He has to have both his hands on the steering wheel, you see.
Hey, now listen.
Yeah.
This is produced by Trudy because, let's face it, she's Sting's wife, so she produces.
Yeah, I produce a lot of stuff.
Tickets for the concert only are $75 to $250, but it's worth it because
it's a great concert.
It's a phenomenal concert. It's available through Carnegie Charge at 212-247-7800, and tickets for the concert and the gala post-concert supper and silent auction at the Waldorf Astoria are $650, and they're available by calling Event Associates at 212-245-6570. All tickets are tax deductible to the fullest amount allowed by law because it is a contribution to the Rainforest Foundation.
I got to ask one thing though. Your auctioneer last year didn't quite know everybody in the audience, and he called.
He didn't know who you were, Robin.
No. He called Bon Jovi Axl Rose.
Yeah, well that's all right.
Well, we should have him again. Maybe he'll call Bruce Springsteen Howard Stern.
Trudy, I'll announce this a couple more times, but you won't have any trouble selling this one out. That's a stellar lineup.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun.
Isn't it? So you're going to come, you guys?
Yeah. What are you going to wear? You going to spill out of your top again and show off those huge cans?
I think so.
This woman's got some body on her.
One of the reasons you'll come, right?
Yeah. You know what? Call me up one time when Sting's not around. I'd like to get my hands on you. You know what I mean?
I did last time, and you stood me up.
Well, maybe now I've thought it through a little bit.
I'd like your listeners to know that.
All right, next time I'm going to come on to you a little stronger.
All right.
All right, baby. Bye.
Bye, guys. Thanks a lot.
All right, Trudy, honey.
Bye.
Give me some tongue.
Get out of here.
She's a little party, that one. I got a feeling that she'd swing many
see
ways.
Why Sting married her.
Yeah, she's a little party. There's a party.
Never ends.
There's a party going on in those jumpers.
Jodhpurs.
Whatever. All right, let's take a break. We'll be back right after these words.
You're listening to The Howard Stern Show. Once again, Howard Stern.
Jackie Jokeman Martling. To order Jackie's Wild Comedy CD or cassette, it's $10 plus $3 shipping and handling. Jokeland special, buy two, get one free. Call 1-800-323-KING. This Saturday, March 4th, Jackie will be at the Taj Mahal in Atlantic City, New Jersey. For dirty jokes and info, call 516-922-WINE. Remember, 516-922-WINE is not a pay service. Okay. I don't even think I should read this on the air. This LA Times article about how much of a dick I am when it comes to movies. I could explain this whole article away in 2 seconds.
Well, how else are you going to refute it? I mean, otherwise you leave people with the impression the article placed in their mind.
You know, I'm too nice. It means that I got a bad mouth about 2 or 3 people that I really don't...
By name?
Yeah, that I really don't want to get into bad mouthing. But they seem to have no difficulty going to the newspaper. Every time they get insecure about me, they go to the newspapers to protect their ass. That's what this is all about. This is the weirdest situation I've ever been in my life in terms of making a movie.
Well, how many movies have you made?
No, I mean, this is the weirdest situation I've been in my life. Not in terms of making movies, but in terms of, like, everything I've ever done. This making the movie thing is the weirdest thing I've ever done.
In terms of business.
Yeah.
The business you have been in.
It's just very bizarre. I mean, first of all, I'm with an unusual movie studio. It's a new movie studio. They've got 9 films in production, and none of them... I mean, they have yet to make a movie, so I don't know that they're experts. I don't know if they're experts on me and how to make movies, because, quite frankly, I don't think they've made a movie yet either.
The one thing they do that I know of is the RoboCop series. And
well, that's already off the air.
Oh, no. I get so excited every time I hear from Reicher at the end of the show.
Yeah, right.
Like, oh, they do something.
Isn't that off the air?
I saw it this weekend.
Oh, did it? Oh, good. Yeah, their TV division is nothing to crow about either. So, I mean, it's not like you're dealing with Steven Spielberg telling you you're difficult.
Or Paramount.
Yeah, and first of all, the basis for this article is absolutely absurd. Reicher came to me and said, we like your book. We want to option it, and we want to turn it into a script.
Mm-hmm. So where's the problem?
A screenwriter Peter Torkvey said, here's how the article starts out, okay? Slow path to screen for Stern's book parts. Howard is always announcing how people's movies are so bad. For years he's been saying he could make a better movie in his sleep. Well, along came Reicher Entertainment and said, here's the money, let's see your movie. You know, Peter Torkvey I met for 2 weeks. This guy's now commenting to the newspaper. This guy's never been asked to comment to the newspapers about anything. Suddenly some writer named Robert Welkos calls up screenwriter Peter Torkvey. And suddenly Peter Torkvey is giving quotes like this. He doesn't know a damn thing in the world, Peter Torkvey, about me.
You two were good friends for a couple of weeks.
Well, so I thought I went into a room and tried to assist the guy. He was hired to write a screenplay for me, and I sat there and worked with the guy. I didn't know he became a whole expert on my emotional state. This is what I mean. I meet people for 2 weeks, it becomes their life story. Let's see your screen credits. That should be your life story. Suddenly he's an expert on my emotional stability.
Oh, I got to hear this article. I didn't read the whole thing. What is your emotional state?
Yeah, like I'm some kind of fool. And in other words, listen to that quote. In other words, Reicher just threw the money and said, well, where's the movie? No, that's not how it worked. They come to me and say, we want to turn this into a screenplay, allow us to go do it, and you'll read it, and you can have approval over it.
Right, that's in your contract.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
So all of a sudden...
now that you're exercising your ability to approve, everybody's upset with you.
So I figure maybe I'm nuts. The screenplays that have come up so far haven't been all that stellar. I show them to about 10 people in the industry who are pretty well-known people, and they say, no, they confirm my belief that this is not a screenplay that will make any money or you would be proud of. Mm-hmm. So I like how people turn it around on me. It's like everybody protecting their own ass.
Well, I'm sure Peter Torkvey doesn't want it out there that he wrote a bad script.
Right. Oh, no, that couldn't be the case. that couldn't be the case that Peter Torkvey could write something bad.
I mean, he's such a... What did he write?
I don't know what he wrote. I just like guys coming out and making statements about me when they know me for 2 weeks.
So what did he say?
Okay, here's the article. Howard Stern is on the air. A caller wants to know when the movie based on Stern's best-selling autobiography, Private Parts, is coming out. Suddenly, Stern grows defensive. Listen, the movie's got... Like, I'm not defensive. Of course I'm defensive. I'm defensive all the time. Because people want me to put out a movie in 2 weeks like Adam Sandler just did to make a big piece of garbage. Listen, the movie's going to come out. You know, I don't want to do an exploitation film. The fact is that I'm hot, and I got a lot of people who would go to the theater to see a movie of mine. I just don't feel like just signing off on any script.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, the movie's going to come out, but I got news for you. It's going to be a good movie when it comes out, Stern says. I can put out a bad movie tomorrow. I got 3 scripts on my desk right now that are bad movies. The only reason everybody thinks the movie is taking a long time is because, like a jerk, you know me, I talk about everything. I mean, hold on. There will be a movie. But Private Parts, which many thought would have gone before the cameras months ago. Who's many? Who thought it would have gone before the cameras months ago?
Well, obviously, Reicher did, weren't they?
Right. Well, I know exactly who fed all the information into this article. It's a little one-sided. Is still in search of a final script. I've never seen a movie studio likes to piss off their star more than me. I tell you, I get into relationships with people. It's unbelievable.
It's always a matter of how long the honeymoon lasts.
And, like, I can't tell who spoke. Like, these guys think I must be morons. I know exactly who that's attributed to. Because the guy was saying it to me in a meeting just the other day. It isn't clear when filming will begin, if ever. There's no script yet. How can they be filming? Stern has rejected one script after another. Okay. Let's refute this. It says in this article there are 22 scripts. There are 6 scripts. There were scripts. 3 of them are rewrites. Excuse me, 4 of them are rewrites. And they're just not up to snuff.
They're not there yet.
Each one was written within 2 weeks. Each writer was given 2 weeks to write. They read my book and they were given 2 weeks to write the script. Now, I don't know if that's the way movies are made or not. I'm just telling you, the scripts weren't right. I'm not holding it against anyone. When the script is right, we're going to make a movie. That's all I've ever maintained.
Mm-hmm.
But this is some kind of spin trying to get me to look like some kind of jerk. Sources say, I know what source says this because the guy keeps telling me there's 22 scripts. Sources say as many as 22 script revisions have already been made.
And nobody wants their name on any of these quotes, huh?
No, yes, but I know exactly who said this. I know the guy's name. I know exactly who said it. This indecision. There's no indecision.
You decided no.
This indecision has fueled speculation that the self-proclaimed king of all media is afraid his professional image would suffer should he release a flop. No. Let me clarify. Now that you got the source, let me speak to the issue.
Nobody called you about this article?
I'm sure they must have, but of course I wouldn't even... I wouldn't comment about it. This is all absurd. Let me comment on this one quote, since they're speculating about my professional image. I am the guy who flew out as Fart Man with my ass cheeks hanging out. I'm the guy who put out Butt Bongo Fiesta. What professional image do I have? The only thing that I've ever maintained my entire career, I won't do anything that I don't think is funny. When somebody runs off for 2 weeks and writes a script that is void of one joke, I'm not doing it. I'm afraid of my professional image. I've been accused for years of not having a professional image. I don't have an image. Image schmimage. I talk to murderers to start off my week. What image am I going for? What am I, running for president? I'm ready to make any movie that's halfway funny. I defy anyone to read these scripts.
You don't care what the movie is about as long as it's funny.
I defy anyone to read these scripts and tell me where the joke is. Okay? I mean, I'm not going to do Chevy Chase's Under the Rainbow.
Right. It's not a matter of not wanting to do a Cheech and Chong film. You do a Cheech and Chong film.
I'd be happy. I'd be happy to have a flop as long as I could believe in it.
Mm-hmm.
I got to believe in the film.
You would be willing to go out there and put your butt on the line as long as you believed in the material.
Yeah. I mean, I was savaged by every critic after we did our New Year's Eve show. And I still maintain that my fans loved it and I loved it.
You held your head high.
I held my head high. I still do. But I will do anything that I think is funny. Howard has been number one in, this is a quote, Howard has been number one in everything he has done, so there has got to be unbelievable pressure on him career-wise to succeed, said Peter Torokve, who says he worked on 4 or 5 rewrites with Stern last year. The film has to do what the book did to publishing. Some note that Stern's position to radio stations around the country is that he has never failed to bring in a winner and that even his autobiography topped the charts. His whole, quote, his whole pitch is, let me be your morning show and you'll be number one. Every time I come into a new market, I'm number one within 3 months, said one Hollywood insider. Now maybe he's nervous for the first time that he may fail.
Who's this Hollywood insider? We're not in Hollywood.
His first name is Keith. It wouldn't be the first Stern movie that failed to get off the ground. The Adventures of Fartman was similarly talked about in the press 2 years ago, and nothing ever came of it. Following Stern from his childhood in an intensely dysfunctional family to his nonstop quest for stardom, Private Parts would star Stern himself. Producer David Kirkpatrick said plans even called for 75 celebrity cameos. Now, I know that David didn't say that because there is no 75 celebrity cameos, including Richard Simmons, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jessica Hahn, and David Letterman. I don't even know what the hell that is. Yet Stern's refusal to sign off on a script has led to endless delays. The only reason there's delays is because I've been on the air saying I want to make a movie. Most movies are done this way. There are rewrites done on films. But as soon as I get on the air and say I want to make a movie, the critics, my audience, everybody wants the movie out tomorrow.
Right, it should be there right away.
So it should be totally unprepared and unprofessional, the movie, so that they can savage it. Quote, to say Howard is difficult is an understatement, said Kirkpatrick, a twinge of frustration in his voice. So anyway, he faxed me a letter apologizing, saying he never said it, he's demanding a retraction, he did it through his lawyer, and he says, I know what I said. He said developing any movie is difficult.
And they changed it to,
then the report,
say the least, Howard is difficult.
Well, David claims they changed it. Who knows?
Is there a tape?
I've had it with everybody. Kirkpatrick said the film takes place over a 35-year period of Stern's life, which makes it difficult to compress into a 100-minute-long movie. So there he is saying it's difficult to compress. He's the guy producing it. He's the guy developing the property. He's having difficulty, so I'm the difficult one?
Well, it doesn't. He might be right. Maybe they did misquote him.
I think Howard wants the movie to be right, Kirkpatrick said. Yeah, I guess that's a bad thing in Hollywood, to want the movie to be right. I want it to be right, too, and funny, and break new ground and have a great debut. Yeah, sometimes that takes longer than 2 weeks. For his part, screenwriter Torquay said the movie had appeared to be ready to start filming when he arrived on the project last summer. Now, why would it be ready to start filming?
There was no script, right?
Yeah, how could it be ready for filming? This is why this will kill you. People in Hollywood will wake up and read this and go, hey, Stern must be a real difficult pain in the ass.
Ooh, what a buster.
And all I know is I have meetings with writers and they tell me I'm not difficult at all. They tell me I'm the easiest guy they ever work with.
I've certainly seen you work hard on this project.
Yeah.
And bend over backwards and be available to everyone.
Oh, they don't doubt that.
Putting your family on the back burner and the whole thing. What more do they want?
So listen to this. Then they say, quote, the line producers were in place, the production secretary was in place, and the coordinators were at their desks when I got to New York in late August. This is Torquay recalled. Yeah. Now, how stupid is that? There's no script, and all these people are in place. So that's my fault? What, I told them to do this?
I remember your commenting oddly on that at the time. Like, there's an office over there that looks like something's happening, but we have no script.
I was hired to do a production rewrite. Well, did I hire him to do a production rewrite? No.
I thought he was supposed to write.
Yeah. They had all. I don't know what a production rewrite is. They have all these people in place. I don't know why there's no script. He's brought in. Now he's commenting. Now he's a whole commentator.
Was he the guy from Alaska? No, that was another guy.
Nah. I could say plenty about him, but I'll reserve my comments. I'm not two-faced the way he is.
Well, I remember, there was quite a lot of talk about the process because you were working so closely together.
Yeah.
And all I will say is that he often talked about what a genius you were at the time.
Yeah. At first, Howard is more than willing to hand it over to Hollywood experts because he wants a big Hollywood movie, not an art film, Tarak Vey said. But when he hands it over, he still has to be in charge. When we were writing together, Torquay said, on any given scene we did the day before, he would say, that's old or that's boring. He wants to freshen the scenes every day. I'd have to remind him that it had worked the day before. Oh, what? Ball! What a bunch of bull. I don't even know what this guy's talking about. What a burn. Now I'm nuts over this.
It worked the day before, Howard.
He was lecturing me. I'm not even a screenwriter. Why would I have to? What am I, in Screenwriting 101? He's the screenwriter. Why would I lecture him? Why would he have to lecture me? Oh, come on. This is such a load of bull.
We'd have to freshen the seeds every day.
One problem, say those close to the project, is that Stern not only wants to make a hit movie, but desperately wants to wow the critics. Every meeting I've been in, I know where that quote comes from, Keith. It comes from this guy, Keith. And he always sits down with me and he says, we want a good movie. We want not only one that pleases your fans, but pleases the critics. I go, well, I'm for that, too. Of course, I would like to please everybody. I hope the whole damn world is happy when this thing comes out.
It very rarely happens, but
yeah,
I'd like it to be that way. Well, how did his quote become your quote? You're just agreeing with him.
So while Reicher Entertainment, which is bankrolling the movie, Reicher has foreign distribution rights and Savoy Pictures has domestic rights, would like nothing better than to make another Wayne's World, Stern would like the movie to be another Lenny. What the hell is that? I know where that quote came from, too.
You're going for your Academy Award.
Yeah, the acclaimed 1974... by the way, I'd rather have a Lenny than a Wayne's World, quite frankly. I think Wayne's World sucked.
Well, neither was funny. At least
Lenny was artistically good. Unbelievable. A number of directors have also been mentioned, from Alan Metter, Back to School, to Penelope Spheris, Wayne's World, to Harold Ramis. At one point, the filmmakers even considered Quentin Tarantino. Well, what does that got to do with me if they considered that? As if everyone else in Hollywood has it. Director John Avildsen was brought on board last year, but under the deal, sources said Stern would have had to abide by his vision. Avildsen called me over the weekend and said, I don't even know what they're talking about.
This is other people talking. They didn't talk to John.
No.
Avildsen.
No, he says, I don't even know this guy. This is an article that is 100% bull. Yeah, and I'm reading this and I'm going, man, what the hell is going on here? Indeed, some of the problems with the scripts have centered on the type of film it should be. Should it, for instance, focus more on Stern, the radio personality, or explore his childhood and contrast that with how he is today? As envisioned, Stern would play himself in the film from his college years on. Torquay said, although he wants the movie to succeed, he admits that the thought of Stern playing the lead made me nervous. What? What made him nervous? Who asked him?
Who is this Torquay again?
I don't know. I don't know where. I don't even know what he's. Whoever asked his opinion on anything. I always wanted to pitch the idea that you use Howard in any scenes Howard can do, but anything with a serious impact like love scenes, you bring in somebody like Alec Baldwin to play Howard just for those scenes.
Oh, that would work.
Yeah, that sounds like a real funny movie.
You know, somebody ought to let him go crazy and just take the script himself.
Yeah, so why didn't Torquay ever pitch this idea if he thought it was so good?
A little too scared?
Yeah. Where was he? I didn't hear him pitch that. No, it won't happen. I told my idea to David Kirkpatrick, who said, let me get this straight. You're telling me this is how we should do this movie? I said, yeah. He said, okay, talk to you later. I guess he must have thought I was joking.
No, he thought you were serious. That's why I said goodbye.
Yeah, well, good. That's a real credible idea. That's pretty good. I'll be in the movie for some scenes, and in other scenes we'll have a totally different guy.
Whatever you can do.
Yeah, whatever I can handle.
Yeah, an introduction and a goodbye.
And, of course, Torquay's such a great actor that he would know what I can do as an actor.
He'd immediately get nervous because he's written so many films.
Well, he knows my acting abilities because he met me for 2 weeks. This article is a load of crap. And it's just frightening to me how the press takes an idea that some guy decides he's going to write an article that I'm difficult to work with.
And then he finds somebody who'll say it.
Yeah, who'll back it up. And I'm not even sure that's what they said in the article, but it's just somehow slanted that way. Who in Hollywood would put up money for a film they all think is bad? It's got to be developed properly.
Well, I do think they do that sometimes.
Yeah, I guess so. That's
if they've got a big enough star to sell it for that initial weekend.
Yeah, that's how Adam Sandler's movie gets made. I don't know, man. I read that. I freaked. I flipped out. I was just like, oh, man. What the hell is this?
Well, you know the caliber of people in Hollywood. You got to
Yeah.
expect this kind of thing.
I tell you, it's wild. I don't know, everyone wants this movie out tomorrow.
Because everybody wants a payday.
Right.
They don't care about what happens tomorrow.
And I like this attitude.
After.
I'm worried about how I'll appear in a movie. Yeah, I think more people ought to worry about how they look in a movie. And whether it's funny or not. That might be a good idea for a lot of people. Instead of rushing off to do something bad. And this was started by the people on my side. Imagine when my enemies attack. It's going to be wild. This is people I'm working with. This is the people that I actually work with.
Which this is that, you always talk about that Fox thing with Chevy Chase.
Yeah.
This is exactly the same kind of deal.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of filmmakers are hopping on board to get into bed with Reicher now after they see the beautiful treatment I just received in the newspaper. Standard procedure. That's right.
You never burn any bridges in Hollywood.
Yeah. And, gee, I can't guess where that non-attributable source is. It's everything that's only been said to me private.
So what do you think happened first? Did the source happen or the article?
The source called up and said, hey, Stern won't approve any of these scripts. Why don't we just do a negative? I'm going to tell you everything that's going on. They put their negative psycho spin on it.
Yeah.
And then maybe that'll pressure me into doing a bad script because I won't like the press that's coming out about me.
So the idea was to jumpstart you.
Yeah, jumpstart me. And also protect Reicher, make it look like, hey, Stern's this difficult a-hole who can't seem to get his act together, but we're great guys. We keep, we're doing our jobs. Instead of saying, hey, we're all working together and we're trying to put out the best movie possible. And that, of course, it takes time. You're starting from scratch. You're developing a script from a book. A book that's not like a novel, a book that's based on short stories. That's the way you do it. That's the way you work together. But I got guys bad-mouthing me in the paper just in case things fall through for them. They won't look too bad.
It was Howard's fault.
It was Howard's fault. Howard's a skunk.
It used to be called lying.
Yeah, maybe it was that Reicher didn't know how to develop a property and didn't know how to put a script together properly. Maybe that was the problem. Could that have been the problem?
Maybe they didn't spend enough on writers. Or maybe they didn't give them enough time.
But that couldn't be the case. Look at all the great films they've made.
I remember trying to interview some of those writers about their experience, and I hit a brick wall.
Yeah, well, I'm cool with it. I mean, hey, let's take our time. Let's develop this thing.
You never said one bad thing
No,
about
never,
anybody.
never. But I keep reading these stupid-ass articles about me in the newspaper about what a difficult son of a bitch I am.
Unfortunately, you don't say yes to everything.
Yeah. That's why you got to be so careful about a script, because if you do a script and then they botch that up in the production and they hire like wackos to make the film, then they really do a number on you about how it was all your fault.
But that not only, it doesn't even matter at that point because you're the only one they see, Howard.
Yep.
You're going to take the weight no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
They don't have to help shovel it. You're going to have it anyway.
Oh, yeah.
If they don't like this film, the critics aren't going to talk about Reicher. They aren't going to talk about the director.
Yeah, right.
They aren't going to talk about the writer.
It's Howard.
It'll be you.
That's right. Yeah, it's really weird, man. When I read that on Friday, I went ballistic. I went nuts. I said, I got to go in and do the radio show tomorrow morning so I could kind of save my good name, whatever name that is. I'm thinking of doing the sequel to Billy Madison. It'd be Howie Madison. And just do the same script, except instead of Adam Sandler.
And those stupid, irritating commercials.
Yeah. It'll just be me.
Billy Madison.
Billy Madison.
Howie Madison.
And then everyone's faxing me saying that they didn't talk to the newspaper. They never said these things. They never did
Howard, don't blame us.
Yeah, believe me, I know exactly who said it. All my pals. Like Howard's just some kind of nut job.
That was pretty bad what Torgray said.
Yeah.
When he has you changing your mind every day about something.
I'm like, what do you mean changing my mind every day? I sit in the room with a guy, start telling him about my life and about different things that I thought were funny in my life.
And then he tries to go away and write it. You don't like the way it came out.
Yeah. So, therefore, I try to change everything. Something's the matter with me that I didn't like it.
Now you're unstable.
Yeah, maybe he's not the greatest writer in the world. Who knows?
Maybe
I'm not saying
what
that.
You were saying.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? Maybe he needs more than 2 weeks. I don't know. But everyone's bad-mouthing me. I'm a skunk.
It never fails.
And it doesn't matter how many times I sit and deny this on the air. Now everyone's sitting and going, well, he must be really difficult. I just want to even know how that happened to me. One thing I've never gotten a rap on is that I'm difficult to work with. I never really have gotten that bad rap.
I'm thinking.
Yeah, think about it. People might have thought what I did was dumb. People might have thought I was awful what I did on the air, or maybe I
Well, I know
but I've
how
never
you
heard that it was difficult.
Can be perceived as difficult.
Yeah.
Because you don't suffer, you don't let people who aren't funny tell you what's funny.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I know. And I got a bunch of guys telling me who aren't funny that this is the funniest thing they ever read. And then when I show it to some real legitimate people who have made comedies and stuff, they go, what is that? I don't even know what this is. I go, that's what I thought. I said, I don't get it. I don't know what it is.
That's somehow how you get perceived as being difficult.
But you'll be damn sure when that movie comes out, not only are we going to have a big first weekend, it'll be the biggest first weekend of any film ever made. This is my prediction. And it will have legs. It will continue to grow because it's going to be a good film. I'm not going to dish my fans out some garbage and expect them just to go pay for it.
Yeah, you're not going to sit them there for 2 hours and make them miserable.
All right. I'm going to be able to look you honestly in the eye and say, hey,
I like
this is really funny.
Yeah. This is what I wanted to say.
Right. Thank you. That's all I'm going to say on it. I got it off my chest. I know it did absolutely no good to do this.
For some people.
For some people. But anyway.
Cleared up a few things for me. I was beginning to think you were difficult.
Yeah. You know what? I kind of like that people think I'm difficult, too, on some level.
You are on that
Good.
level.
Good. Then that's fine. Then I'm difficult.
You know what you're funny doing, and
Good.
you know what's funny to you, and
Right.
you don't listen to anybody else.
Right. Thank you.
Not even Jackie.
And I'm going to tell you something. I actually, in this case, I would have listened. If I could have found one person who liked it, who I respected, who liked it, I would have.
You would have listened.
I would have might have listened and said, okay, I'm wrong. I mean, maybe that's how they make films over there. Maybe that's why they have 9 films. They just read the script and they go, well, it's okay, and they just make it.
I can imagine that there was a bunch of people who took whatever these scripts were, and they convinced each other that it was funny because they wanted to get started.
Right.
Then you became the bad guy.
I just know Russia has like 9 films in production right now. I want to see how many of them are hits. I've read a few of the scripts. I want to see if any of them make a dime.
All right.
If these guys are going to start commenting on me. I'm just gonna sit back and count how many of the movies make money.
When are these movies coming out?
Very soon. They go right through. They don't waste any time.
They hardly hit.
They get them made 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to sit there and I'm going to keep score on the air. How many make
from the set to the theater?
I'll suggest to you the movie that's going to make money for them is my movie. That's going to be the movie that makes it for them. That's going to be the movie. And that's the movie that's going to put them on the map. And they're going to be kissing my ass and thanking me when the thing's a huge smash.
And everything will be, you were right.
It'll be, you were right. I guess you were right. You know, I think any of those other films would have been great, but you were right. I'm glad you waited.
No, Howard, you were right to make us wait. You were right.
Oh, yeah, but I'll have to suffer these indignities. And by the way, making them wait is, what am I making them wait for? They took a couple of shots at developing something. It didn't work out right, so we're gonna go to the drawing board and make it right. It's going to work. Yeah. Their new movies, they're already saving space on the video shelves at the video store. So the whole thing right to video.
Well, they certainly are good businessmen.
There you go. Absolutely. I just don't want to read any more articles about me being difficult. I could print my own article on how difficult everyone else is being.
Well, I was going to say, from your standpoint, aren't they being difficult?
Not really, though. I think this is a very normal process. I just think that they've got
when they start putting articles in the paper that you're a bad guy, it's difficult.
Yeah. I don't think it's a question of them being bad. It's a question of, like, maybe they don't know how to develop a script. So it's all right. They're going to learn.
But it's also true that a lot of times people in the movie business, when they have money, they think they know how to make a movie.
Well, yeah, that's one of the things. What is it?
Your wife has something to add to this conversation.
Hi, honey. Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
I just wanted to add that I think you're really smart in this whole matter because these scripts were ridiculous.
My wife has read them.
I have read all the scripts.
They're retarded.
They're like comic books.
Yeah.
They are so silly. And
Wayne's World is deep compared to it. I don't know.
They're ridiculous.
I told you shouldn't have been nice to Peter Torkvey.
I sent him tacos, right?
Right, yeah.
You know
I wish we could get those back.
See, the moral of this story is you should be a son of a bitch.
Yeah, I know I should be because
they're going to say it anyway.
They're going to say it anyway, and I'm going to get credited for it.
Yeah, but you know
what my attitude's been?
Sour grapes that you weren't happy with his script and that it didn't work out.
Right.
And it's just professional jealousy.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of that going on, but it's also like, you know, a guy becomes a head of a studio and has never made a movie.
Right.
Suddenly thinks he knows how to make movies. And it's not the way it works. It's a process.
I think they're anxious to make a movie without even realizing.
But you gotta make a movie that people want to see.
But then you start to realize how much of any good movie is luck.
Yeah.
You know, because these guys would put out anything.
Well, there are a lot of executives in Hollywood who actually have the ability to read a script and know when it's good, and they take their time doing something. But I mean, I don't know.
But I'm just thinking of all the movies that some of the people who came in here took credit for.
Yeah.
And now I have to believe that they didn't have much to do with them.
Well, every time I get conned into thinking people in Hollywood know what they're doing, I remember one word: coneheads. Then I'm watching this movie. Demi Moore was in a movie this weekend. And now there's a woman who you say knows how to pick a script, right? It was Dan Aykroyd, Chevy Chase, and Demi Moore. And there was these two puppet blobs picking Demi Moore up.
Everybody had bad makeup on.
And the puppet blobs were trying to throw Demi Moore into a pot of boiling water.
Yeah, and down a chute.
Now, I really like to look at Demi Moore and think she's very attractive. I couldn't watch this movie.
Well, there was another one, Butcher's Wife. I mean, if she's worth $12 million, she could have made somebody go see that.
Yeah, right.
It was good on video.
Oh, please.
Yeah. You could hear the cameraman snoring during Butcher's Wife. Did you hear that?
And blonde hair.
Yeah, they had to do like 3 retakes on every scene because the cameraman couldn't wake up.
Yeah, he just let it roll.
He was in a coma. Ask my wife. I was in a real pissy mood. Remember? I was like, I slept the whole weekend because I was so depressed over this Los Angeles Times article. I was just like, I just said, I gotta sleep. Because reality sucks.
Yeah, you got to just take a nap from life.
Yeah, I'm just like, wow, these are the people I'm working with. Are while I'm in the middle of working with them, they're bad-mouthing me in the paper.
It was shocking. It really was.
Yeah, it was really weird.
Well, I just wanted to add,
And they all give me, I told you, I go into meetings, and the head of the studio gives me this psychobabble about how I'm afraid to commit to the film because I'm afraid of a failure. And so I said, dude, mellow me out with that, huh? I want to make movies more than you do.
Yeah, when did you get your psych degree?
Yeah, but I mean, I can't do something it's not even clear if the pages are in the right order.
It wouldn't even matter.
It wouldn't, right? I mean,
it made as much sense backward to forward and forward to back.
When everyone in the world is telling you the pages don't make sense. I mean, I understand those guys are real horny for a hit.
Sure, they need money, I'm sure. They need that positioning, and they'd like the money, too.
Yeah, and I mean, the other films they have in development, in all due respect, don't look like they're going to be monsters. So, it's going to happen for them. They just got to chill out, and they got to stop writing bad stuff about me in the newspaper.
Right. It will happen.
Oh, it'll happen. Gave it to you good Saturday night, huh?
She's calling to defend you, isn't she?
Yeah. When's the last time you heard my wife defend me?
She's not calling to scream at you.
My wife was yelling at me pretty much for the whole weekend because I slept. Saturday night, I was supposed to take her out to a movie.
Uh-huh.
And then I fell asleep. She didn't wake me up.
I tried to.
How did you try? I mean...
Well, I didn't have the heart to, really shake him. And,
So I'm laying in bed, I'm sleeping. I wake up, I hear her pulling out with the kids. She took the kids to a movie. And,
I'm not going to wait around.
Yeah, so I call her up. So she comes home and she's mad at me. You were supposed to take me out. You were supposed to take me out. What are you doing?
Oh.
And I'm like, wait a second, Allison, I fell asleep. That's sort of part of nature. I fell asleep. I had a bad article in the LA Times that I fell asleep. I said, so tell me something. Well, how could you be mad at me for falling asleep? And you didn't wake me up.
Well, I didn't have the heart to really push and shove.
So she was really mad at me that I didn't take her out.
I wasn't really mad.
Her sign of love is whether I take her out. Meanwhile, I hate going out because I'm recognized and I feel like a jerk.
Well, that would be a true test of love.
I guess so.
That's right.
So then around 11:30, I rolled on top of her. And she was all mellowed out. She said she really needed it. And tell her, didn't you say to me, and this is a quote.
Oh, God. I don't remember what I did. Don't do this to me.
That I was the fullest I've ever been. That I have never satisfied you as intensely.
No, that's not a quote. I just said it was good.
as opposed to, you noticed it was good this time.
Right, I could tell.
No, tell me you weren't going wild. And then that I not only did I do it to her, then I stopped for a while and did other stuff to her.
Howard, it was a good weekend.
Vibrators, everything. I gave her the full workout. You know.
It was a good weekend.
You know, notice how relaxed she sounds?
Oh, yeah. She's in love.
You could sound that relaxed too, Robin.
How?
Right back in the office right now.
Right. No vibrators back there.
I don't need a vibrator on you. I've been with Allison for 20 years. You need a vibrator on her. You need a jackhammer on Allison. Yeah, that, you know.
I don't know. If she noticed how good this was, like, as opposed to every other time.
No, she was like, wow.
I don't know.
Yeah, I gave it to her really good. She looked good. She had some special makeup on and stuff.
Oh.
Like
special makeup.
I don't know. She went to a
I had
beauty
already washed up to go to bed.
Is that what that was? You look good.
You clean up real nice.
Yeah, you cleaned up nice.
I had makeup on.
She had on a little dirty nightshirt. Looks like she never washes it.
Oh, God.
It's ratty.
Yeah, it's all ratty, but I like it.
And you should see what he sleeps in.
I push it up over her head.
Oh, you're terrible.
I give it to her.
He sleeps in his clothes.
I know.
I know. Whatever I'm wearing, I just sleep in.
You just collapse.
Yeah. You loved your session of love, didn't you?
I had a wonderful weekend.
Yeah. Sure. Who gives it better than me? Not many.
I don't know. I haven't
Right.
had much experience lately.
Who do you have to compare it to?
I made her grunt like an African princess. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What does that mean?
She knows.
Who knows? I hear Jackie laughing.
All right. Very good.
I just wanted to call in and
Thank you.
give my 2 cents.
Well, thanks.
All right.
And my wife is a professional screenwriter, so she would know.
Well, she's read many screens.
I'm a professional screen reader.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
She knows. These were scripts you would read. You would go, what?
You turn them upside down.
I mean, it's a story of me and Allison gets jealous of me with women on the radio, and she goes to live with my parents. But
when did that happen?
Not only did it happen, it's boring, and it's stupid.
Was that the joke? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, that's
the joke
the laughs.
was her going to leave.
Those are the laughs.
And move in with your parents?
Yeah. Well, Jackie likes it. All right. You would have a good time at this film. All right, I got to take a break from life.
I got to take another nap.
Yeah, you chop my head off. All right, we're going to take a break, and we'll come back, and we'll listen to the Ku Klux Klan message.
Ooh, okay.
Get everyone all excited right after these words.
Let's return to the Howard Stern Show.
Been a long time, been a long time, been a long, been a long, been a lonely, 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 lonely. Oh, yeah, oh, yeah. Ooh, baby. Yeah, been a long time, been a long time, been a long, been a lonely, 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 lonely time. Oh.
How the hell did that guy make money?
That used to work. We used to be into it.
Yeah, I was into it to the point that I was like locking myself in the bedroom for 4 or 5 hours.
But I understand they have turned on a lot of young kids.
Yeah. I've attributed a whole bunch of meanings to those ramblings.
But some kids are like really getting into Led Zeppelin now, in their teens.
They're dicks. That singing sold a lot of drugs and liquor, though, I'll tell you that.
See, you didn't realize.
I told you I shouldn't have whined about that article in the L.A. Times because, of course, I got 27 faxes, people telling me, come on, Howard, stop whining and make the damn movie.
Oh.
You're Howard Stern, not Lawrence of Arabia.
What does that mean?
Why are you being stupid, you moron?
It's supposed to be a bad movie.
And here's one. Time for Howard to shush. He protesteth a bit too much. And then there's one attacking you.
I don't know how this happened.
Robin, with the way you suck up to Howard's paranoia, you make Ed McMahon look objective. Put on some chapstick, honey.
What did I do? I listened.
You can never agree with me on the air, or else that's sucking up.
But I didn't. I was being objective. I said, let me see. Maybe they look at it this way.
Of course.
Doesn't matter. I'm sucking up.
And here's a guy who comments on my late-night television situation.
Oh, yes.
Howard, let me put into perspective how incredibly talented you are. In the 4+ hours you were on the air last Friday, you managed to pack in more laughs than Chevy Chase could in his 6+ weeks on Fox. From the GLH-9 hairspray I thought, by the way, I didn't think Gorilla would be in this morning.
Why?
Well, I thought that maybe he would have hung himself over the weekend. No one had actually heard from him.
I started to call him on Friday, and I said,
Yeah.
get over it.
Did you see what he did? Now that he's bald, he's wearing a do-rag, and he went and got his ears pierced all over the place.
No, I didn't see.
14 more earrings.
He put like 14 earrings in his ear.
Get him in here. I didn't notice that.
Gorilla, come in. Yeah, he's got earrings all the way up to...
He went above the lobe.
Yeah.
Looks like a Christmas tree.
Look at him now.
Oh, man.
And look at
that.
Look at the thing in his other ear, in his right ear.
Man.
He's got an earring at the top of his ear.
He's really getting into this bald look now.
Yeah, he can't even put on he can't even put on headphones because his earrings hurt.
It really hurts. I got it done last night. It hurts.
So you're dealing with the whole bald issue?
Yeah.
You're okay?
Definitely. A lot better.
All right, good.
He's so funny because before he didn't like kerchiefs. He wasn't going to wear kerchiefs.
Now he likes
Well,
them.
everybody says it seems to look it, so I'll go with that.
Says it seems to look it. Look at his ear out. It's all wet or something.
You know, I put Bassett Tracing on it.
Yeah, you got to put
I was thinking about I was going to get my eyebrow pierced, but I wasn't sure.
Wow. You really
I sort of held off, and I called Ralph.
Right. Oh, did you? You called Ralph? Yeah.
Talk you down?
Gorilla called me last night, and he's like, what do you think I should pierce? Do you think eyebrow, ears? And like, he was ready to pierce everything.
Did you see he pierced his ear all the way up top?
Yeah. I said he should. That one looks cool.
Yeah,
But that's a lot to do at once.
I know.
It's killing me.
Eventually your hair's going to grow back, and then what are you going to do?
I like earrings anyway, so my mom wouldn't let me get them.
But
of course, instead of going somewhere, you know, and having it medically done, just at someone's apartment.
Right.
Are you kidding?
Punch holes in it.
Oh, it was totally sterile. It was probably more sterile than...
You probably should have just done the gun with the studs, and it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, it's only like $5.
But that you get more infection from that gun than you would...
No, you don't.
I've gone through 2 earrings because of a gun. Like, because both my ears got infected.
All right, good. Hey, listen,
I
whatever.
looked into it,
Look, man, you look fine. You're bald, and you've got 12 holes in your head. You're doing great. But by next week, you should be unconscious somewhere in a coma.
That's 10 more than he needed.
So you're dealing with it because he came in this morning. I don't know what happened to me on Friday. I'm all embarrassed the way I was. I don't know. I went home. I feel much better about it.
I know. There's still faxes coming over. Some guy called him SW, Super Wuss.
Super Wuss. Are you all right now, man?
No, everything's
You
cool.
made $4,000 on Friday.
I counted the money.
Yeah,
I put it all in a checking account.
Good. That's good. That's you get no interest, by the way. You know that. In a checking account, you get 0 interest.
I'm not.
That's very good.
I need
you don't
the
want
money. I need it accessible if I got to pay my rent with it and stuff.
It's accessible if it's in a savings account.
Yeah, but like checking account, like I could write checks. What am I going to do? Like, no one else would write me a check if I need to pay a bill.
How about putting 1,000 in the checking account and 3,000 in the savings account?
I just went to the bank and I put it all in the. I've never done anything like that in a bank, so I just put it all in the checking.
Very good. Okay, so it's all in a checking account, accruing no interest. Well, it's only $4,000. Don't worry about it. But he's proud of it.
He's amazing.
Hey, it's my first checking account.
Good for you.
I actually got a little cash card.
Yeah, there you go. You'll go through that money in a week.
Right, because you'll get used to going and just taking it out.
Hey, this is pretty good. I could just get some. I just write on this piece of paper. I can get money.
Look at that.
All right, get out of here. I got things to do. Very good. I'm glad you're not dead.
Glampet.
I'm Jed Glampet. His hair's already growing back in. He looks awful.
Oh, man.
He looks so bizarre. There's just no way. There's no 2 ways about it.
I don't bother to look because I'd probably laugh.
Guy says you were funny with Gorilla, the GLH9 hairspray, James Brown call, the murderer from prison, repressed memories from Rue Ralph. I could go on and on and on. Stringer, Murdoch, and Littlefield must be smoking some damn good crack if they can't figure out who the real true king of late night is. P.S. Tell Robin Ophelia that I will call her anything she wants as long as she has those 2 milky knockers. P.P.S. Jackie sucks.
Oh.
Signed, Walter Cronkite. There you go.
Do you really think it's from him?
I don't know. P.P.S. Jackie sucks. Almost forgot to put you in there, Jackie, but remembered at the end. All right, very good. Good for you. All right, I promised the Ku Klux Klan Black History Month message. I'll do that.
Yes, the month's almost gone.
Well, tomorrow we're playing Black Jeopardy.
Oh, so we're taking it out in fine fashion.
Yeah, because everyone's been yelling at me that I've ignored Black History Month. So here is Daniel Carver, Ku Klux Klan man, to give you his lecture on
Black History
Month.
Wake up, white people. This is Daniel Carver. This is February, which niggers called Nigger History Month.
There you go.
I don't remember any black people calling it nigger history.
He's saying niggers call it nigger history month?
That's what he said.
Oh, that's a lie.
So how can you believe anything?
I always like to study a little nigger history myself, even though most of their history in my days has just been one nigger after another committing violent acts. They rob, rape, murder, riot, loot, and then beg from the white man for food stamps, housing projects, and welfare checks. Then they want affirmative action and job quotas because they know that they cannot compete equally with humans. If we were to return this...
Well, this is some Black History moment.
Pretty smart animals.
Yeah.
...nation to equal rights, where the filthy, stinking niggers had to compete to be hired and promoted instead of a filthy federal government forcing employers to hire and promote a certain number of filthy niggers, then niggers would be back to the bottom where they belong in no time at all. Talking about nigger history, they are...
Yeah, when are we going to get to some history?
Right, this is just speculation on his part.
There hasn't been one...
I haven't learned anything.
...fact about anybody in history.
Are truly wild, African, savage animals. But our ancestors bought these niggers animals from the Jew slave traders as farm animals.
I knew it was the Jews.
You know what? He agrees with Louis Farrakhan.
He does.
There's a meeting of the minds here.
You're telling me the Jews brought the Africans over?
Well, that's what the Nation of Islam has said for a long time, that the Jews financed the slave trade.
You're kidding.
That's what they say.
I knew the Jews were somehow involved. I knew we'd learned the truth.
They kept them tied up out in the barn beside the old hound dog at night and worked them in the fields.
I must have missed something. What happened?
I don't know. Something about buying them and tying them up.
Yeah, it sounded pretty cool. Something about a hound dog.
Traders as farm animals. They kept them tied up out in the barn beside the old hound dog at night and worked them in the fields during the day.
Oh, I see. The black man was tied up by the hound dog.
Right.
Ah. I thought it was Reicher Entertainment that brought the first slaves to the United States.
They haven't been in business that long.
Right.
These filthy, stinking nigger farm animals worked right along beside the mule and were treated no different than a mule. They eat, they had a roof over their stinking head, and we didn't even need welfare. Then back in the 1860s, after the Civil War, these wild nigger animals were put in charge of the South. The Southern men who had fought in the war couldn't vote or hold office or have anything to do with the government. But with these filthy nigger farm animals in control, the South quickly became almost a wasteland.
So let me explain that to me. So he's
During
saying...
the Reformation. See, Daniel doesn't explain it very well.
Yeah, help me out with that.
During the Reformation period, right after the Civil War,
yeah,
blacks got a whole bunch of rights.
Right.
And were allowed to vote, and they wound up in the state legislatures in the South and so forth. So Daniel is saying that the white guys couldn't vote because they were being held under some kind of penalty for participating in the Civil War. So the blacks got into office and ran down the South.
Oh, okay. That's a pretty far stretch, though, because I don't recall a whole bunch of black legislators.
I don't think that, the whole... state legislator of every southern town, southern state was run by blacks.
Yeah, I still think a lot of black guys were being strung up on trees, despite the fact that they might have gotten the vote.
But then the Ku Klux Klan was formed, and these filthy niggers were put back on the bottom in no time at all. But slowly these filthy niggers have taken over again, but not only in the South this time. And now our Yankee brothers, who wanted to free these filthy savages, wished that they had left them back in the barn beside the old hound dog. These filthy, savage porch monkeys are causing much pain and suffering all over this country. That's about the end of nigger history. What we need
There you
now
go.
is for history to repeat itself. And with the knowledge.
See, if history had been this much fun in school, I would have majored in it.
Hey, we're hanging on every word.
Yeah. My teachers never said anything this exciting.
A&E should hire him.
Yeah. He should do a Daniel Carver history
And
special.
look, we've gotten through the whole history in how long?
Right.
Not long at all. We took care of 400 years.
And I didn't even know about the Reformation until he taught me.
He didn't know what it was called.
Right, but so what?
I'm not going to hold that against him.
No.
White people have about niggers. The next time white people wake up, we will drive these savage, bubble-lipped, kinky-headed, half-ape savage niggers back to the deepest, darkest jungles of Africa, so that neither trace nor recollection will remain among men. We didn't need niggers in the 1800s, and we don't need filthy niggers now.
You know, when I was in Roosevelt, they had Black History as a course. I never took it, but it was so boring, everyone dropped it.
Daniel wasn't teaching.
No.
Wake up, white people. People, I have a lot of different KKK souvenirs. And for $3, I'll send you a list of these souvenirs. I'll send you a list of KKK souvenirs.
Yeah, I got a list, too. He's got a catalog. I got a full-color catalog. But Jackie gives this for free. Yeah.
Jackie, you give the catalog for free, right?
With a purchase.
Right. Smart man. You're a lot smarter businessman than Daniel Carver.
Thank you very much.
Jackie's in the same basement business that Daniel Carver's in, selling like his little wares.
Cheers. Wake up, white people. People, here's a little joke in closing.
Whoa, this is getting more and more like you.
Into your area.
Did we hear that?
What? No, this is real.
Joke in closing. Do you know what you call a white baby with wings?
Do you know the answer to this, Jackie?
Yes.
An angel. Do you know what you call a nigger baby with wings?
What?
A bat.
A bat.
Come on, that's funny.
You know what? He's got a better delivery than Jackie.
At least I understand Daniel's jokes.
He gives you time to absorb the joke.
He isn't screaming it at you. A bat.
Yeah, and at least Daniel doesn't laugh at his own jokes. Play one of Jackie's jokes. I was going to guess a crow. I didn't realize it was a bat. A bat.
Kid comes running in the backyard. He says, Pop, Pop, the mom just got hit by a bus. Son, you know my lips are chapped. Please don't make me smile.
I don't even know what that meant. Wait, hold it. Stop everything. A kid says, no, excuse me. A kid says, he runs into his mother. He yells it. He
I
says
know.
Pop, Pop. He comes in the backyard and yells, Pop, Pop, Pop.
Pop, pop, pop.
Get to his mother and yells, Pop, Pop, Pop.
What's he talking about? And then he says that someone got hit by a bus and the mother...
Pop got hit by a bus.
Pop.
Don't make me smile?
Yeah, I've got chapped lips. Don't make me smile.
Don't make me smile. You know I got chapped lips.
I don't know. You mean, so the mother was happy because the father was...
Right.
Pop. Pop, Pop. Please don't make me smile. You know I got chapped lips.
That's what it sounds like.
I tell you, I'd rather hear Daniel Carver tell jokes.
That's
Look at the boss.
I don't know what Jackie's talking about. Give me another one.
Middle-aged divorcee wants to sleep with a black guy. She's dying to sleep with a black guy. She goes to a bar, has a few drinks, meets the black guy, brings him home, brings him to the bedroom, takes off all her clothes, lies in bed, spreads her legs. She says, "Hi, pal. Do what you do best." So he grabs a TV and runs out the door.
Oh, that's a good one. There you go.
Well, it's perfect for Black History.
There you go. That's a Black History month. Now
You could actually have used that.
he could have used that.
Bring him home, lies in the bed, spread your legs. What a big noise. Do what you do best.
Black guy. I think you're a lot of
black
black.
guy. Sing to black guy. Black guy. Black guy.
Black guy.
White girl.
White girl, black guy.
Sing to white girl. Pop, 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 pop.
What's the name of the black guy? What's the name of the black guy?
Get in the bed, spread your legs, and do what you do best. Oh, come on. Wake up, white people.
All right, I got to take a break. break.
Go on the witness stand. The judge says, what happened? Just I was walking on the sidewalk and he grabbed me in the alley.
What?
And he ripped off my dress and pulled down my pants and bent me over a garbage can. I don't even remember what happened next. The judge says, make something up. Make something up. Oh, fuck. I don't even remember what happened left. The judge says, make something up. Make something up. Make something up.
You know, he's like, if Keith kills the punchline twice or something, it's supposed to make it funny?
No wonder. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. It's his Jackie style.
Make something up. Make something up.
All I know is, I think he just berates the audience into laughing.
I think they're relieved to get out after all that screaming.
It's tiring.
Browbeaten into submission.
I can only listen to like 3 jokes.
How does he do that? How long is your show?
It's a miracle.
2 hours.
That's why he has like multiple voices.
I guess we're supposed to laugh.
That's why Jackie talks like this.
I guess so.
Screaming!
And Daniel, I must say, does know how to use the phone.
No.
Pop. Jackie's got a microphone. He's screaming his lungs out.
Pop! 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 Make something up! Make something up! Make something up! Save 2 black guys! White girls, spread your legs! Come on, big boy, do what you do best. We run up and order daily.
Do they, when they do a sound check for Jackie, what do they do? Turn the mic off?
Do you even have a microphone on when
I
you're
don't
doing
need
that?
that thing. I don't need that thing.
Yeah.
Get that PA out of here. I'm just gonna yell. Oh!
Pop!
Pop! Pop!
All right, I got to take a break. We'll be back right after these words.
We're back with the Howard Stern Show.
On the E! Show tonight, if you want to see the show where, I don't know if you remember this, this happened a couple of months ago, but Baba Fuhai did a lecture at the Learning Annex, and we videotaped it. We hid in a box, in a cardboard box, and videotaped Fafa Folai.
That's right.
And then we had somebody ask goofy questions of Fafa Folai and watch them get frustrated.
Yeah, we stacked the audience.
Yeah. So Fafa Folai gets interrupted by an irate heckler. It's all caught on tape by our hidden cameras. We're regular Alan Funts tonight. It's a lot of fun. So watch this show. The E! Show.
You know what's... I'm reading Larry King's column.
What's he say? Wait, let me have it. You want me to... All right. Hey, the efficiency expert's here, too.
Oh, good. Because Larry's basically just patting everybody on the back, but he zings you.
Oh, you're kidding. How can Larry King zing me? Based on this, I got to read. Larry King is such a twit. Let's see.
I'm sitting there looking at it, and I say he must have read that Los Angeles Times article.
Oh, about my movie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, here you go. This is the fallout from my own movie company. Yeah, well, considering all the successes Larry's had in his life. Let's see. My 2 cents. This is where Larry writes a bunch of dots and just says stupid things, the first thing that comes into his head.
Right.
If Sean Connery's on the screen, I'm looking at the screen. I mean, come on. Come on. Is that really journalism? Is that any kind of...
do we have to pay him to write that?
Whoa, look at the picture. Jerry Seinfeld's young girlfriend.
Oh, come on. You're not supposed to read that part. We got to get to that later.
Oh.
Read Larry.
Look at the cans on her. All right, never mind. If there's a sidewalk, I walk on it. If there's a movie screen, I look at it. Now listen to this one. I'm anxious to fly aboard the new Boeing 777. Doesn't tell you why.
No.
If Bob Dole is the nominee, the vice presidential candidate is either Governor Pete Wilson or Governor Christy Todd Whitman, and you can bet on it. Why is Governor Christy Todd Whitman... Some woman wrote an article about it. They said the reason that everyone's saying Christy Todd Whitman is because she's a woman.
Right.
She happens to be a real good governor, but it's condescending to all the male governors who do a good job, and it's also condescending that she can only be thought of as the vice presidential candidate. Why isn't she being mentioned as a presidential candidate?
Well, and the whole point is, would she be getting this attention as the governor of New Jersey if she was a guy?
Right. So she's saying it's almost like, yeah, it's very nice that they're complimenting her, but they're into the novelty of a woman.
Mm-hmm. It's the same with Colin Powell. He could be vice president.
Right.
But can't be the front runner.
Quite frankly, he's not qualified to be dog catcher, Colin Powell. He was a general. It's like Eisenhower wasn't qualified to be a dog catcher.
Yeah, but they let him do the job.
Well, he's a white guy. See what else Larry has to say before he gets to me. Kato Kalin is really cute. No, he didn't say that. James Patterson's Kiss the Girls is a rip-snorting, terrific read about serial killers. Like any book he reads, or I don't even think he reads these books.
You know, down at the very bottom, he has a line about Kathleen Turner. That's another one of those. Down at the last line of the column.
If Kathleen Turner is on Broadway, so am I. I guess that's it. If she could be on Broadway, so could Larry. This is some column. I gotta get a column like this. Stop all the jokes. Kathy Lee Gifford can flat out sing, my friends.
Wow. Oh, smack.
My man of the year is Detroit Tigers manager Sparky Anderson, who refuses to manage replacement players. I'm still waiting in line for Howard Stern's movie to open. Good, keep standing out there.
I hope he's being literal.
Yeah. Why is it that everyone can't wait for my movie to open? Have you ever seen anything like it? This will be the biggest movie of all time.
Larry's there.
Yep. Larry's already online. I was just listening to Deion Sanders' rap album.
Oh, yeah?
Deion Sanders, what is he, a football player?
Yes, and a baseball player.
I don't know. Has he sold some of these albums?
I don't know.
Because I know Shaquille O'Neal has sold albums.
Yeah.
And we heard his album, and it was pretty bad.
If he wasn't a basketball player,
right,
he wouldn't have an
Want to hear some Deion Sanders?
Contract. Yeah.
I think I'm putting out a rap album.
Hometown, baby. Fort Myers.
It's my hometown, baby. Fort Myers.
You know, and it's always overproduced. You know, there's always these weird sound effects. You know, you got to do something. And a thumping bass.
See, I'm just going to fart. This is going to be my rap album. I dig you so much.
This is the home for the hometown, baby.
My name is H.
My name is H.
Yeah,
you make me poop.
Yeah.
This is for the hometown, baby. Roosevelt Long.
Roosevelt. I got a hometown. That's cool. Fort Myers. Fort Myers is like a lot of black guys are from Fort Myers.
Yeah?
Yeah. I knew a lot of black guys when I used to work upstate at that summer camp in the kitchen.
Uh-huh.
All the black guys were from Fort Myers.
Where's Fort Myers?
Florida.
Oh, okay.
I think. Isn't that Fort Myers? Or is that Texas?
There's a Fort Myers in Florida.
Florida. That's the one they were all from. All the black guys. They were busy cutting up cabbage and... Fort Myers. Fort Myers. My girlfriend's back in Fort Myers.
Been having a lot on...
If you're going to do a rapping, you have to have like a cool black neighborhood you come from. See, I can do that. It's for my homies back in Roosevelt who's still stuck back there, man. For my homies. This whole rap album is dedicated to my homies and to gas. My natural gas. Which, by the way, there are no actual instruments used on this except for my flatness. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm a gas man. A gas man. I'll blow a hole in my shorts for you. That's my rap album. Let me tune up my sphincter.
My chest and out on my mind for a few years. Too short, help me get it off.
Oh.
I grew up in Fort Myers, down in Florida. My mama worked 2 jobs to support us.
That's the other cool thing you had to put in, that your mom would work 2 jobs. Where was Paps?
I was going to say, why couldn't you pick a good guy who would stay around?
Why don't you write a song about how bad your pappy was?
Right.
My mama worked 2 jobs.
Pat mom on the back for working 2 jobs because you picked a bad guy.
Yeah. Mama really had her life under control, Dion.
Ever since I was young, I was the best in sports. From the baseball diamond to the hook court. I always played ball, wasn't hanging on the sticks. Never been a dope dealer, gang banger, stick.
I'm just a player, fool. It's all real. We can play a game of chess or hit the football field.
Makes no sense. So far, he's been great at sports his whole life, but he never was a dope dealer.
Well, that's why, because,
Right.
you know, but if he couldn't play hoops or ball,
Yeah.
he would have been a dope dealer and a gangbanger.
There you go. Something to be very proud of.
Only other option.
And that's also cool, so you can let all the black kids know that you know dope dealers and gangbangers and stuff. That's, you got to have that credibility.
But you know, like you went through it all and you didn't get caught up.
Right, man. I didn't get caught up. I decided to make millions being a professional athlete.
Homies call me Prime. My number's 21.
What does homies call him?
Prime? I don't know.
Yeah, this song kind of got mucked up. It was like, well, first he was good at sports, and then something about playing chess.
Nah.
I think I heard something about chess.
I think you're wrong.
No, I did hear it.
We can play chess or whatever.
No, I think he said he beat on chess.
Was that what it was? No.
And you can see me on the field having much fun. Where I make my money like a pro, drop the top on my biz. Now all you suckers know it's all real.
It's all real, man. I'm going to put out a rap album. I think I can do it.
Because I got to, you know, speak up for the rap artist. This isn't really rapping. He's just reading a letter off from music.
I know. I don't know.
Too short, help me get this off. Everybody's got a name.
This is me down.
Is this more?
Yeah, it's a different guy. I mean, it's him, but...
We have an exclusive interview with the controversial Deion Sanders and his partner Stoops. As we all know, Prime has done so much.
Stoop. Imagine hanging out with a guy who wants to be called Stoop. Yeah. Today we got a controversial interview
with Deion Sanders and his pal Snoop. So Stoop.
This is pretty egocentric music. I mean, this is
it's
like,
all about him.
Yeah.
Controversy. Are you really the bad guy? If so, tell us why.
Check it. Inquiry minds wanna know about the all-pro, so they'd often ask me, why am I so flashy? They say I got an ego, but it ain't easy to be me, so I deal with my homies from LDO. So that know me know the rich.
Yeah, he does have an ego.
LDO, what's that?
He chills with his homies from LDO.
I'm Deion on the streets, but I'm prime time on the field. So say hi to the bad guy. I'm living my life, but the deuce niggas be thinking I'm rolling. Now they wanna get mad, but I don't even trip, boy. I lift it up. A G on and off the string, got these blown up.
I'm sick of this crap. I'm sick of everything.
Is that Stoop?
Yeah, that was Stoop. Stoop. I'm gonna start working on my rap album. Hey, where's that efficiency dude?
So did he get the goods on the running of the office? Is
I don't
he
know.
all ready?
One day I was on the air, I was having a fit that Gary don't know what he's doing, and John don't know what he's doing, and no one knows what they're doing back there, and nothing ever runs right, but...
He knows how to put this office together now?
That's what I think.
Well, he had a whole yellow pad full of notes before he left on Friday, so I guess he mulled them over.
Yeah, here he is. Your name's Rich, right? Hey, Rich, so you had a whole day and a half now to look over the running of the office, and what is your...
assessment?
Well, I've spent most of the weekend going over my notes from Friday.
Right.
I needed to come back and get into a few more things today.
Yeah.
One of them especially with you.
Yeah.
And
well, he keeps wanting to interview me. I don't want to do an interview with him.
What have you got to do with the running of the office?
I don't know. I don't run the office.
No, you don't, but you're the customer of what they do.
I'm the what?
In every process, there's suppliers and customers.
Yeah.
You're the ultimate customer.
Well, he's dissatisfied.
I'm just dissatisfied in general.
I want to.
What?
I wanted to.
He's heard me on the air 100 times talk about what I can't go into each specific thing. It's a million things.
If you prioritize them, what's the biggest one?
I don't even remember.
It's disorganization in general.
Yeah.
And that, you can never put your hands on anything. There's no follow-up, follow-through.
Yeah, things just sort of get lost in the cracks.
Even the systems we have, nobody understands. So if you need a tape, you can never get the tape because everybody doesn't understand the system.
Well, right. That's true. They have some trouble articulating exactly what it is they need to do.
Right. Because you ask Gary what he does, and he can't describe what he does, right?
Well, we walked him through it a little bit, and actually by the end of Friday afternoon, we were able to get him to... We talked for about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Actually got some good information out of them, I think.
Did you? All right, just do me a favor, because my audience doesn't have a lot of time for this.
Yeah, I know that.
They're in a big rush. How big a mess is my office in on a scale from 1 to 10?
4.
A 4.
A 4.
So, in other words, 4 meaning it's a pretty big mess.
4 meaning is, no, I've seen a lot worse.
You've seen worse?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
So you're saying on a scale from 1 to 10?
a little help.
See, on a scale from 1 to 10, we're a 4.
Yeah.
With 10 being the best.
10 being
the
most
worst.
Screwed up, and 1 being...
Well, I wouldn't say a 4 is all that encouraging.
A 4, but I figured we were a big mess. If people are working in greater messes than we are, it's a wonder anything
That's
gets
pretty
done.
bad.
You and Robin would have the whole country believe that we're at an 11.
No, that we're at a 0.
Whatever.
Gary, 11 would be you were great.
No.
He just said 1 being the best, and then the worst.
So wait a second. You're telling me we're a 4? So
Yeah.
we're close to perfect.
Well,
halfway.
We're on the
You're
perfect
halfway.
side.
Oh, my God.
That's what I'm saying. If people are working in a worse mess than we are, Howard, nothing should be getting done in this country.
You know what? You just got bamboozled, my friend.
Well, I'll tell you, I haven't taken anything at face value. I've made them show me.
Really?
Yeah, he just, for instance, he just asked for a tape. We looked at it on the computer, and he made me go to the back, and he followed me. We got it all on camera,
right.
And I had to find the tape that he was looking for.
Yeah, but the point is, Gary had to learn that after Howard blew up.
That's right.
That's the problem.
See, no, our problem is this.
It's about after Howard blows up.
No, our problem is this.
It's about where
we
we are
couldn't
today.
find tapes for years, okay? So this is a primary example of how our office runs. So you don't really have the clear picture.
Yeah.
That system that you have for getting tapes that Gary's so proud of being able to do, that took years because Gary just ignored the problem and just left the tapes laying there.
Right, so what I really, that's why I want...
See, Gary doesn't explain that to you.
I want to know, well, actually, everyone said that most of these systems are new.
Yeah.
Everything's been done recently.
I absolutely explained that to him. I really did. I told him that they were there for a long time, and I didn't.
Let me ask you something. Here's what I want to know. This is what gets me pissed
And Gary
off.
also told me that...
Gary tells me he doesn't have time to do a lot of stuff, and yet so he gets interns to help him. But every time I go back there, the interns are just huddled around a phone, hanging out with their feet up on a desk, mellowing out. So Gary
needs some help with some organizational skills and learning how to use.
Yeah, Gary doesn't know how to improvise or how to sort of take a situation and come up with some new ideas and how to get people working. I'm always hearing about how there's not enough interns. Every time I go back there, the interns are having a party.
And that they never know what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, after the show, they're all just hanging around.
Nobody said there wasn't enough interns. What we said is that every 3 months we train new interns. So it's a month before they figure out how to do it, and then they're here for 2 months and they're gone again.
But you have some interns that have been here 3 years.
Well, those guys I can't handle.
Gary admits...
Gary's a can't-do kind of guy.
He admitted he has limited organizational...
The fact that Gary can go back now and find a tape is a miracle.
Well, do you understand that the reason this guy is here is because of the day Gary couldn't find a tape?
Right.
And that system has now been up and running for quite some time.
I can't tell you how many things happen within the day that Gary can't manage.
You realize that system has been up and running for almost 3 years and has run without flaw except for once, but probably has been used effectively over 40 or 50 times.
Well, who developed the system?
Kathy.
No, Howard.
Well, you thought of the idea of...
Right, because I couldn't take it anymore.
Right.
But I need a guy who can actually think of things and how to create systems.
Well, what I'm doing is putting a report together for you with a number of recommendations on things that you can do. And most of them center around Gary's duties, what he needs to do.
Good. All right.
Could you actually teach Gary how to problem solve?
I don't
think so.
That.
No. I think either you have that ability or you don't.
But he's very receptive to suggestion, change. I mean, today we went through...
Oh, he's an empty slate.
He's
receptive.
He's practically retarded.
He said, that's great. I didn't know you could do that.
Right. I know. He just has no idea how to innovate.
You were only with him an hour and a half, and you heard that term.
I'm like De Niro in Awakening, so I want to learn.
Yeah. Oh, very good. Very good.
He wants the help, and I'm going to give it to him.
Yeah.
I'll give it to you. But see, I wanted to hear about the things that aren't fixed yet.
Oh, there's a million of them. There's just a million things that go wrong on a daily basis.
And I figure that
and everyone just tells me, well, we have no help. There's not enough interns. There's plenty of help, right? There's plenty of help.
And not much to do, I'll bet.
If I throw a new task in, that drives everyone nuts. Or a new way of doing stuff. It just gets them crazy.
Well, there's another thing that goes on, too. There's a constant switching of authority that I've noticed.
Yes.
For a while, I hear the term, that's Kathy's job. I took that away from Gary.
Yeah, there's always arguing.
And then I hear, no, I gave that back to Gary. That's not Kathy's job anymore.
And there's a whole big problem with answering the phone. Like, no one seems to know how to answer the phone. They have to train people to answer the phone.
And the message taking.
Howard, wait a second. If you
Gary doesn't know how to answer the phone.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
If you took an
John's
intern,
job, right? It's always somebody's job.
If you took an intern off the street,
right.
a college kid who's willing to come here for free, and you put them on the phone without any training, you would be amazed at the things that they would say.
Well, who said to put them on the phone without any training?
They need to be trained, and it's not that easy. Some people get it, and some people don't.
So why don't you have John do it? You told me he knows how to answer the phone.
He can't stay here till 5 or 6 o'clock every night. That's why.
But you can't have him train them how to answer the phone?
I said some people get it, and some people don't. If you get
wait a second. Why do you have to train people to do the phone?
I don't.
Why?
I actually don't.
So why doesn't John do it?
Kathy and John do, but what I'm saying...
It's two people to train to answer a phone.
Your complaint
See what I mean? This is what drives me nuts. Because I'll call him up and go, why didn't something get done? He'll tell me, well, we had to train people to do the phone.
My question was, why would you have an intern that isn't capable of answering the phone?
Well, we have no choice. This is who we have.
But you have a number of people to select from.
See, he's already saying there's a number of people to select from who could do that.
I know.
Not a number of
I think
people
that
to be
there's
here
an
all
hour
day.
problem, that those people aren't here later in the afternoon.
Right. Why don't we do this? See, I have ideas like this, but everyone gets upset with me when I suggest them. You train one intern how to answer the phone. You videotape it. You show the guy the videotape when he comes in.
I worked over the weekend on starting this report for you, and I have a section there on training, because this turnover of interns is a real big issue.
Right. Well, of course. It's always the problem.
You know, you don't reinvent the wheel. You put some training stuff together.
Right.
You run them through it.
There you
if
go.
they can't do it, you find it out.
Gary acts as if no other organization has to train anybody.
No one does. No one does.
Well, it's such a big deal, Robin. It's so easy. How come you hadn't thought of it in 11 years?
Oh, stop it, Gary. I could take care of that problem in 10
You want her to do the job now?
Yelling at people won't get him to do the work.
You want her to do the job now?
Know how to do it, I wouldn't have to yell.
No, but Robin and you sit here and say, I could do this, and then...
Well, listen to me. We have our job.
We can do the radio show, or we can go back.
We have you to run the office. Now you want us to run the office and do the radio show?
No. I'm just saying that if you have these great ideas, if an idea comes to you, right?
Gary, the problem is I'm not back there with you all day. How can I come up with all these ideas?
We're a team. If you guys have an idea, why wouldn't you just tell it to me instead of waiting till the efficiency expert?
Again, now hold it. Now the efficiency expert has heard you for the first time. You've got to understand your job.
I do understand.
Your job is when I call up and say do something, and you tell me I can't do it, Howard, because I got interns to train, I got this to train, I got that to train. That means something's wrong in your office. You're not able to take on new stuff. Mm-hmm. So therefore, I can't solve that problem for you. I'm not saying
And I'm not asking you to.
All right.
But if you come up with, you had that idea, if you have it and it just comes to you, why wouldn't you just tell it to me?
But he did
I just told it to you.
Teach you how to train the interns.
Right, but you're saying, oh, that's an easy idea. Like you guys have known about it all along.
Well, what about Stuttering John doing it?
I'm not saying who should and shouldn't do it. I'm saying if you have an idea, why would you wait till you get on the air to tell me about it?
Excuse me,
well, what am I going to tell you about it? I just had it.
Here's the deal. You were calling into the office in the afternoon, remember?
Right.
And everybody was answering the phone in an improper fashion.
Right.
Then you brought John in and taught him how to answer the phone on the air.
Right.
Gary never noticed the problem.
No.
Right.
That's
right,
it.
Robin.
See, now do you get it?
I get it.
Okay. You might have to quit your full-time job and be here and just keep going over the office.
Meanwhile, Robin's last assistant is in Iceland.
Yeah. Got a point there. Well, can't even be reached on the phone.
Oh, but she could answer the phone when she was.
Anyway, why don't we give Rich a plug? You want a plug? You don't want it?
No.
You just did it as a favor to us.
I just did it as a favor to you.
Are you going to type out a report for me?
I sure am.
Very good. Very good. Excellent, Rich. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
There's
so you
Rich.
now see the whole problem.
I'd just like to be the official management consultant of the Howard Stern
Thank you. Please leave your number so I can call you whenever there's a crisis. Which will be every 10 minutes.
Yeah, keep your phone
And the one area I have not been able to delve into is Fred's carts.
Oh, yeah. Fred's
that's a mystery.
Fred's personal.
And Fred won't talk to you?
Well, we spoke.
Uh-huh.
We spoke, right?
And what happened when you lost your hair, didn't you, when you spoke to Fred, didn't you? What happened, Gary, when Fred was consulted?
I only heard a little bit of it, but Fred was explaining how, I guess the words he said were like, it's his personal hell, was one of the things I heard him say. And then he said something like, this was put on me, but I'm not sure that I'm supposed to be in charge of it. Something to that effect.
It's just. What do you want to be in charge of, Fred?
I thought I heard Fred saying that it was like sort of thrust upon him.
I see.
Being
kind of a joke situation.
Right.
So
Fred, the guy's trying to really solve a problem, Fred. Don't joke around.
I know that, but I think I answered his question.
Yes,
and
you did.
I also asked him at the end, I said, was I very clear?
You were.
And
Fred is responsible for a lot of the sound effects and the tapes, and since he is the one who plays them, He should know where they are.
And I pretty much do.
And as long as he does,
but no one else knows where they are.
I tried to figure it out.
So what happened? You asked Fred about it, and he wouldn't really...
Yeah, well, he kind of told me that he knew where it was and pointed to things.
I pointed to things to set it out.
Is there a rational...
No.
Oh, okay.
If it works
Does Fred have to carry 4,000 tapes in here 2 ways every day?
It works for Fred.
It works for Fred, and you know what? You don't even want to. You don't want to get involved.
See? There you go.
There you go.
There's also a section in the report on Ralph.
Oh, is there? And what did that? And what happened there?
He seems to be an issue in every interview.
Right.
I didn't mention Ralph, did I?
No, you didn't.
Yeah. Everyone is
out.
upset with Ralph.
Well, they're just trying to figure out. He shouldn't be involved in any of these processes. So
Right.
I kind of.
Ralph is a hairdresser. Why is he involved with all these people?
I tried to understand why everyone kept bringing him up when he's got nothing to do with anything.
Believe me, I can't imagine why either. I can't.
I couldn't either. So
the guy's a hairdresser. So what is the issue?
Why does his name come up?
The issue is that he's here?
I guess.
And what is he doing wrong?
Access to the studio and...
I see. Now, so do we solve that?
He carries an implied authority that he speaks for you. So if he comes in and asks...
When did he get that?
It's just implied.
No, to Gary gets that because Gary's bamboozled by everyone.
If he asks...
Right.
If he asks for something, the implication is he's asking for you, so stop what you're doing. And
well, I don't know who gave him that implication. Who gave that implication that he speaks for me? That's Ralph.
You've never said that. In fact, you've told Gary he's in charge.
I've told Gary 900 times Ralph does not speak for me.
All you have to do is listen to this radio show to know that.
Yeah, no one even likes Ralph.
You know, Ralph and I had that big argument off the air on Friday, which was luckily captured on videotape.
Really?
Yeah. And do you know that big argument we were having?
Yeah.
And I spoke to Ralph after the show, and I said...
What was the argument? What was the
argument was that Ralph is supposed to ask me whether he can come in here to talk on the air, which he did this morning.
Good.
He had something good to add, but... he didn't. He wasn't doing it for a while. He didn't. He said to me, "I feel like I'm doing it." But what was going on? There'd be a lot of times where I was in here, and since he couldn't ask me, he would just come in. And I would say that unless you really feel so strongly, you should just not come in then if you don't have someone to ask.
Right. Or he can ask John, and John can slip you a note.
Okay.
See?
Because Ralph will just begin to feel strongly all the time.
Talk,
so why is that a problem?
It was a problem to them. They articulated it to me when I asked the question.
I see.
I just put it
now, is there anybody, in your opinion, that I should have to unload as dead wood?
No.
Oh, you're being nice.
It was a slow no.
Want to talk privately about it?
No, really. It's not a matter of unload. You have a lot of people here who do repetitive work. A lot of people do the same thing over and over.
Right. Let me ask you something, because there's a lot of personality conflicts back there, too. Did that come across?
No, I didn't catch too much of that, Robin. Actually, everybody's on their best behavior. I know which one, Robin. She's talking about the gorilla stuttering John personality conflict.
Oh, them yelling at each other?
I mean, there were meetings every 2 weeks about gorilla and John.
John's sick today. And he came, not really sick. Because I was going to be here. He's getting over a cold, but he came in. He didn't want to miss it.
Oh, really?
He didn't want anybody giving interviews, without him around.
Oh boy,
John's got ambition.
Yeah, right. He's really ambitious, that boy. All right, very good, Rich. Thank you so much for helping us out. And that is our efficiency expert, Rich. And what he's basically saying is that it's a 4 because everything that he saw was running smoothly, except he's not seeing what doesn't run smoothly. Thank you, Rich. No wonder Gary was beaming. Hey, let's get him in. Let's get him.
Because he got a 4.
Yeah, because he was able to find the tape. Oh, boy. It's hopeless.
I don't even think you know some of the crazy stuff that goes on back there.
Why don't you tell the efficiency expert, Robin?
People quitting every 2 weeks.
Who is quitting?
Gorilla has quit a number of times.
So why doesn't he leave?
They talk him back in.
Oh, they do? Gorilla, is it true that you quit every 2 weeks?
I quit. Never heard that.
I never even heard that.
That's why I said there are the personality conflicts coming through there, because I think what they do, because they have nothing to do, is fight with each other.
Did you quit every 2 weeks?
No, I at one time just thought it would be best if I just took off.
What happened?
It was just getting kind of hectic in the back. It was just like, I guess there was some things between me and John that just, at that one point, couldn't be settled.
Well, tell me what. Like what?
He'd just get on my case constantly.
About John? How could he get on your case? He doesn't even...
I guess it's the way he plays around, and I guess after, 3 years of badgering, I just sort of
He's going to badger you?
He can't...
Gorilla pulled me aside one morning, and I think he told me that like he was having like stomach ulcers or something like that. But basically, what happens is
From answering the phone and getting free food.
What happens is John has a tendency. John likes to.
Is this the same gorilla who has to just get food? Basically, that's his whole job, is getting us food.
Yeah.
He's having pressure on the job? This is unbelievable.
You know what? Since John and Gorilla come to me often, we can get this out in the air. I'd love to know the answer to this right now. The big argument is John has been here for 6 years.
Right.
John feels he is the chief whatever.
No. He's not the chief. No one appointed him chief.
In other words, he feels he holds rank over Gorilla.
No.
And he doesn't like the fact that we say John and Gorilla. John thinks he should be in charge and he should be able to delegate things to Gorilla. And he says when he tells Steve to do stuff, if I tell Steve, would you go and do this, Steve does it. If John tells him, he says that Steve gives him like a dirty look and blows him off.
All right, here's the pecking order now. Okay. I'm going to read it to you now. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Kathy.
Yes.
Gary.
Yes.
Gorilla.
Yes.
John. Okay? That's it. Gorilla is in charge of John, and John will do whatever Gorilla says.
You know how to solve a problem.
What? Now it's solved.
Solve
That's the end of it.
Now John's quitting in 2 weeks.
Good. Tell him goodbye and tell him to collect his severance, even though he doesn't make any money.
He does. He actually gets paid now.
Does he? Good. Now tell me he just gave that up. Gorilla, you are in charge of John.
But that's where
John, Gorilla is your boss.
If I would have threatened to quit, then you probably would have done the same thing anyway.
Gorilla is your boss.
I don't really care. Because you know what? I've learned how to deal with it. I've learned how to deal with it.
Good. Gorilla, if Gary tells you to do something and you're a little overwhelmed, you can assign it to John.
You want to put him as my boss?
Yes.
That's fine.
Thank you.
Okay, I guess you're not going to...
No.
However you want to do it.
Gorilla, then you.
You got it.
All right.
You got it.
Gorilla, tell him to go get your water if you're thirsty. Thursday?
Because these guys...
John, you are not in charge of Gorilla.
No, Howard, you know what? This is ridiculous, but you want to be on the air or you want to be serious?
I want to be on the air and serious.
Okay, well, the point is Gary will attest to me. If you're going to go on who you want to be in charge when Gary's not around, you want Gorilla? Fine.
Yes.
That's your prerogative.
That's what I want.
But I feel if you want the show to run better...
I don't even know why one of you has to be in charge.
Because, Howard, this is the point. Gary's in here half the show a lot of times.
Right.
Okay,
right.
So someone has to run the office. Someone has to run the office back there.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of things that I just feel that I can handle a little bit better than Gorilla. And that's how it goes. I've been here longer. I know who to put through on the air. And if you want to have the stuff go on the air...
listen...
Ask,
excuse me.
Wait. I'm not done yet.
Your job is...
Ask our efficiency expert, Howard.
Is your job to listen to the phone calls and decide which phone calls should be put through? So why can't you do that and still answer to Gorilla?
Because while I'm doing that, I might say, Gorilla... Howard, Gary needs you to do something, or whatever. Go photocopy this, and he'll give me a dirty look. So now I got it. The only problem that I ever had with John was like somebody can go. Gary can go. Could you go do this for me, man? Thanks. John will go do this.
Is that right?
And that's the only problem I ever had.
Well, now you're his boss, so he has to treat you nice.
That's not true, though.
One of the first days, we can wrap this up really quickly. We've had this big discussion about you guys and the personality conflict. John came to me 2 days ago and said that he goes, how do I handle this? He asked Gorilla to do something, and Gorilla refused to do it. What was that, John?
Oh, I don't remember now. It was a couple things. Now I've learned.
This is a simple thing. You ready for this?
Yes.
Throwing a box away.
Yeah. Gary said I was the only one. I was doing mail and answering the phones. Gorilla was just sitting there. I said, Gorilla, do me a favor, throw that away. Gary wanted it away. He looked at me, gave me a look, didn't do it. Half an hour later, let me finish. Half an hour later, Gary comes up. What are you guys, brain dead? I asked you to throw this freaking thing away. I said, I didn't say anything. I said, okay. Then I pulled Gary aside in private.
Gary, why couldn't you throw it away?
Because I was working on the show.
Oh, and why couldn't you ask Gorilla directly to throw it away?
Gorilla wasn't around at the time. In other words, if whoever's in the office, John was there.
No, you are putting John in the weird position of being Gorilla's boss.
But no, John or Gorilla, because I said...
No, you have to look at which guy is doing what, and then you have to ask them to throw it away. If you see John busy, you get Gorilla to do it.
Okay, but if I'm not around and I say, John, I need this thrown away, and I'm running in and out of the studio, why should something sit there for an hour and a half?
Because John can't tell Gorilla what to do.
Well, that's the whole problem, and that's what the whole problem is back there. Is that some days I'm allowed to tell him what to do, some days I'm not. So me and Gorilla get into this problem because Gary doesn't want anything to do with it. Gary just kind of washes his hands of it. So,
no, Gary, you are the manager. You have to be involved in these decisions.
I was involved with it for a long time, but I got sick of hearing these guys argue and yell with each other.
There's nothing to argue about.
So I sat them both down and I said,
listen, what's going on? Where is the efficiency expert?
I sat them both
Where
down.
is the efficiency expert? Is he listening to this? Come in here. This is why I can't get anything done. Now, you're scribbling away. Solve this. What is the problem? Would you solve it?
I don't have enough.
You just ran out of paper. Go ahead. Tell me, Rich, what to do here with this.
Discussions that no one has.
I think it comes to me about what.
Do I interview Robin in the show today? Robin, make yourself available, please. Oh, great. Yeah.
You know why, Robin? Because I have a new tact now.
What is your tact?
Now I just don't get into it with a gorilla. If I have a problem, I just.
Why don't you give the box to Richard, the efficiency expert, and let him throw it away? That would solve everything. Can you be available?
Not at my rate.
All right, do me a favor. Tell me what is going on here. Now, don't you think
it's a roles and responsibility and authority issue here?
Now, don't you think it was Gary's responsibility to sit there and work out who does what?
That's part of his job. That's his job.
As the manager.
Yes. How many managers do I need?
At every available turn.
But throwing out a box.
Wait a second. You tell me to delegate, right?
Yes.
At every available. So I should go to even something as simple as throwing away a piece of garbage has to be assigned directly to a person.
If you are going to assign it to John, you've got to make it clear to Gorilla that he has to do everything John says.
Howard, can I bet things that
have you ever told Gorilla that?
If you will let me, I will.
Why wouldn't I let you?
Okay.
What do you mean would I let you?
John's in charge.
Wait, hold on. Wait, I want to back up now a second. All the years you're working with these two guys, you've never clearly drawn the lines of delegation?
I've discussed with Steve that if John asks him to do stuff, I say, listen, we're a team.
Right.
It doesn't matter. Nobody's in charge.
Wrong. You're not a team.
We are a team.
No, you're not. You are the boss. If you want to make John the second in command, then do it. I just appointed Gorilla because you refused to appoint someone.
I've always said to the guy, I said, we should always help each other out. If somebody needs something done, it shouldn't be, this is your job, this is my job.
You see what my problem is in life?
Yeah.
I got a guy.
Gary trying to be popular.
Well, and John's perception is that he is second in command.
Right. And Gorilla has never been told that.
But Howard, that's what I've been told, like through Gary. But
someone's got to tell Gorilla.
Yeah, but no one told Gorilla, so I don't blame him for.
And if you're going to be second in command, you got to treat Gorilla nicely.
No, I haven't. Now I just asked you nicely.
He's gotten a lot better. But in the past, that was the problem.
You got to learn diplomacy.
I agree. So now I just ask him nicely. I don't even yell at him if he doesn't do it. Because this is Howard. This is another big problem in the office, right?
Yeah.
Hey, wait a minute. Didn't you get interviewed by the efficiency expert?
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell these things?
Because I don't want to rat out a Gary.
No, actually,
you guys did not. You were not honest with Rich.
He didn't ask us about it, and you know what?
No.
You guys know what you're talking about. If he says what's your problem, if he asks you a problem, you got to tell him the problem.
I'm going to be honest with you right now. It's very simple. The answer to this is very simple.
Of course it's simple. Monday and Wednesday, Gorilla bosses John. Tuesday and Thursday, John bosses Gorilla. Friday, Ganji wears a tie and runs the office.
And I'll tell you what.
And that's going to be my system from now on.
Howard, here it is right here. You ready? Here it is right here. And this should never have come up to be an issue in the first place. John is a paid employee of Infinity Broadcasting.
No.
Steve is not. Steve is a lot of help to us.
John is paid because he goes out and does interviews.
Well,
as far as running the office goes, excuse me.
Yeah.
As far as running the office goes, Gary, you're in charge of who is in the pecking order.
Okay, Howard. And let me just say two things. Okay.
Oh boy.
One is, that's obviously. I don't want to get into that yet. Let me just say one thing.
Like one of those lawyers in the OJ.
No, Howard.
Right.
The first thing. This is a small problem that happens in the office where I get into a fight with Grillo.
You know, my office is a bigger mess than my movie. The movie is more organized than what you are talking.
I blame this on Gary, too.
Okay, go ahead.
He might like this.
Go ahead.
Gary always comes up to me and says, "Where's Gorilla?" And I say, "I don't know." Gary says,
I'm not my Gorilla's keeper.
Gary says, "Well, you're supposed to know where Gorilla is at all times." This is what happens. I say, "Gorilla, you got to tell me when you leave." So what happens? Gorilla doesn't tell me, and he just goes out, and no one can find him. So then I'm in the position now. I got to yell at Gorilla, because if I don't yell at Gorilla, Gary's going to yell at me.
Rich,
so
I have talked.
I'm the monkey in the middle.
You absolutely are a monkey. I don't know about being in the middle though. Yeah. Let me say something, Rich. I have explained this away clearly to my boy Bahahuhi a million times how to settle problems like this. Would you now tell them how to solve this problem?
Well, when I interviewed Gary to start off, and I asked him what his duties were, the first two things...
I would like to hear a tape of that.
The first two things he told me...
I don't know.
intern management and staff management as two different things because people get paid or don't get paid.
Right.
And that's his responsibility. So that's his responsibility.
Like, who cares who gets paid?
It's your staff.
It's your staff.
That's the people who have to do that.
I always say they don't get paid. Well, if they don't get paid, so still you can make something. You give somebody a bone, let them be a manager.
And if we have a communications problem and a lack of definition of roles and responsibilities, that falls on Gary. Right. His task to manage.
Right.
So one of the general comments is in the report.
How can you tell me we're a 4? They can't throw out a box around here. You're at a 4.
That's
you
relative.
got to tell me something.
Relative.
Yeah, right.
One of the things in the report
Are we moving up toward 10 now?
You can't just verbalize these things and change them 2 weeks later. He needs to have a clear definition of what people do. It's kind of informal back there, but as soon as something hits the fan,
it's very informal. Everyone back there thinks they're a star.
So the next thing you know, Gorilla's stomach is bleeding.
Right. So, in other words, what you're saying
actually, in
is...
these 2 days, one day Gorilla was getting his head shaved.
Right.
For the day.
All right. Okay, so there you go. He was a star that day.
And today, John was sick, so he wasn't saying much. But he pretty much has his tasks back there, grabbing the phones.
So, in other words, are you saying that Gary has to appoint someone in charge and make it clear to the other people that he is in charge, and that person, if they're rude, will be fired?
He not only needs to, Gary not only needs to tell the person, he needs to tell the whole staff whose job it is to do what.
All right. Thank you. Now go back with these 3 nitwits and teach them a lesson. Thank you. Rich, your job is not done.
We're having a staff meeting after the show.
Oh, God.
Excellent.
Staff meeting after the show. John, Gorilla, and myself. Rich in the back. We're having a big staff meeting.
In front of Rich, I'm going to ask Gary, Stuttering John, and Gorilla to repeat after me.
Uh-oh.
We will work hard.
We will work hard.
Even though we have no idea what we're doing.
We have no idea what we're doing.
We will not argue with each other.
We will not argue with each other.
Though we know the other 2 guys are a-holes.
Though we know the other 2 guys are a-holes.
We will save up.
We will save up
to buy a brain.
To buy a brain.
All right, thank you, Rich. Please take them back there. Whatever you could say to them, I would appreciate. All right. I must take a break, Robin. And when
I'm glad we cleared the air.
Yeah,
but it's still not cleared.
Oh, shut up. You're going to a staff meeting.
Of course it's not clear. Now we're going to get it cleared up, supposedly.
We're clearing it up at the staff meeting.
Of course. Just like, Rich, please, whatever you can do. Whatever you can do. Let them be honest with you.
Bless you.
Yeah. I should be an efficiency expert.
Whew.
Rich is going to convince him.
Oh, man. All right, we're going to be back right after these words, and we must do the news.
Yeah.
I need more time to think.
We'll be back with the Howard Stern Show. Don't go away. Rock 97.1, The Eagle. Live from the Chevy Chase Theater. It's the Howard Stern Show. Cool. Howard.
Theater just renamed for Chevy. Thank you.
Well, it's not a theater, but it's the Chevy Chase studio, maybe.
Tonight on E, Gary at the Learning Annex. Learn nothing.
Gary was there to learn, maybe.
Yep. We hit a camera on him, and I think you'll enjoy it. Watch Fa-Fa-Fo give a lecture to young people.
I need more time to think.
All right, you'll get it.
I'm an idiot. I'm a friggin' idiot.
Don't be so self-deprecating.
I can't do it.
You can do it.
I'm too stupid.
No, you're not. All right, Robin, it's time for the news.
How often do you have these conversations with Gary?
All the time in my head. Constantly thinking about Gary. Anyway, Robin, you were saying that there's some pretty big stuff going on there.
Well, it's a big day in the O.J. trial.
The O.J.?
We thought it was going to happen on Friday. We thought we were going to have a marathon right after the judge announced the change in the rules for how they're going to conduct the trial. They're going to go to this shortened day concept, and Fridays are only supposed to be a half day from now on so that everyone can be relieved of the stress of this trial.
Yeah.
And then they got into court on Friday and supposed to have a little hearing about whether this Rosa Lopez, the woman who supposedly can supply O.J. with an alibi,
some alibi,
to run off to El Salvador. All we were supposed to be doing was having a little hearing about whether she should be allowed to testify now on videotape and then go home, or if she would have to be present when the defense gets to present its case. Well, that took until about 7 o'clock Eastern Time on Friday. And then the judge decided, okay, we're going to let her testify right now.
Which is unbelievable that he's letting that happen.
At first, it was supposed to be just on videotape, and then he decided to call the jury in. So all of a sudden, the jury was rousted from wherever they were and brought to the courthouse, at which point Marsha Clark stands up and says, Your Honor, I can't stay. I don't have a babysitter.
Excuse me, honey. You're in the middle of a very important trial. You go find a babysitter.
There is no available babysitter for Marsha Clark.
The court couldn't send somebody over to watch her kid?
So, the judge then had to demand that Rosa Lopez, this very important witness...
This witness who not only was lying on the stand, but clearly she ain't going anywhere.
And understands English, but she's got to have that interpreter sitting there.
Yeah, and she's a real snotty woman, and she's up there bad-mouthing and lying and everything else, and the judge still goes ahead with this. And you know what? This is so unbelievable because the way the prosecution would normally handle something like this, a witness like this, right after her, they would present this limousine driver who sat there all night with a watch. He was on a clock waiting for O.J., never saw the Bronco out front. This guy was parked out front. He's a professional limo driver. He couldn't find O.J.'s car.
This is a big white truck.
This is a big white truck. And he saw when O.J. pulled in and everything else. Laughable. This Captain Japan, Judge Ego, is unbelievable that he can't keep things moving. You say to the defense, when we're ready to call the witness, we'll call the witness, just like everyone else.
Why does she have... What is so urgent in El Salvador?
This is a...
Then she says she's afraid of the press. Meanwhile, she knows everyone by name.
Yeah, she's real afraid of them. And no, not only knows them by name, but she's like touching them and going, I love you.
Yeah, I love you on TV. I watch you all the time.
Yeah.
But she can't speak English.
Right.
Bésame mucho.
Mrs. Lopez, do you love the reporters? You do. And do you love being on the stand? And do you love the United States of America?
Oh, sí.
So there you go. You're going to be here, right? Yeah, of course.
So.
That's right.
She was so funny. Who bought your airline ticket? Mr. Johnny?
Mr. Johnny.
Who is Johnny Cochran?
Yeah, she knows Mr. Johnny a little too well.
I would say so.
I'm telling you, O.J.'s going to walk.
All I know is Judge Ito decided that the jury should hear the testimony and that she can testify out of turn because he is convinced that she will leave for El Salvador.
I am packed and I will leave, right, Mr. Johnny?
Because she is not a U.S. citizen, apparently we have no jurisdiction over her.
Mr. Johnny. Wasn't that a toilet bowl thing? Didn't Johnny Carson sue over that? Here's Johnny.
So, anyway, today, because Marsha Clark couldn't find a babysitter, they decided that the testimony of Rosa Lopez would have to continue until today. So today in court, they will interview and cross-examine Rosa Lopez out of turn. So the prosecution has to interrupt its case.
That'll make a lot of sense.
And talk to this woman who will be presenting part of the defense case, and then switch back into a prosecution mode.
The defense has got to love this, right?
Oh, yeah, it's good for them.
Yeah.
Very good to break up the momentum of the prosecutor's case.
Right. Well, anyway, who cares? If O.J. walks, what am I going to do? I'm going to continue with my life.
Then immediately after that, we will be seeing the testimony of Cato Kalin, and I guess eminently following him will be Mark Furman.
Yeah, there's another guy. Racist cop, all this other stuff they're calling him. Meanwhile, O.J. killed everybody. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, they forgot to wear booties. O.J.'s innocent. No blood at the scene.
Well, I heard the district attorney, Gil Garcetti, said, don't underestimate this jury. He still thinks they can pull out a guilty verdict.
Isn't Gil Garcetti the guy who didn't under his jurisdiction, everyone lose the Menendez case? He has faith in an all-black jury. That's good. That's good. He's very in touch, Gil Garcetti.
Well, he's not like you.
No, he's not. He's nothing like me. That's for sure. For one, I have hair. I hear Gil Garcetti leaves teeth under his pillow. Still waiting for the fairy godmother. I got to take a break from this story. Promise me you won't go back to that.
I won't. I'm done.
Thank you. We'll be back right after these words.
You're listening to the Howard Stern Show.
Good.
Once again, Howard Stern.
All right. So where were we? We were talking about
in the midst of the news.
Right.
We finished talking about O.J., but can I do a sidebar?
All right, let's have a sidebar.
Kato Kalin is going to be interviewed by A Current Affair.
By Steve Dunleavy.
Yes, and at that time he will admit, I do not do drugs, I do not provide drugs, and I don't deal with drugs. He also says he doesn't provide women for men. He doesn't do any of the things people have accused him of, as he's been lying silent, waiting to testify.
Steve, will you ask all the questions?
Yes, I will.
You will?
Yes.
You will ask Cato everything?
I asked him about the drugs.
Right.
I was really in the mood, quite frankly, for some.
Of course, you yourself do not do that stuff.
I would like a big hot bowl of whiskey, if anyone has it.
Of course, you do not even do that. Am I correct?
No, of course not.
Of course, you're making a joke.
Not.
All right, listen.
A joke.
Cato, of course.
Of course not. My God, I'm incontinent.
There you go.
Fan it up to my face and find out what I had for dinner last night.
Well, what did you have?
I don't remember.
What is this, like a reading?
Fan it over here, I'll tell you.
A few drinks, a little dinner.
I smell rice. Rice and, ooh, is that grilled salmon?
No, I think it's shrimp.
On the barbie.
He's not a meat and potatoes?
No, I had some shrimp.
He had shrimp, obviously, from the stench in the room.
Shrimp with cilantro.
What?
Shrimp with cilantro.
You can still smell the cilantro.
And what else? Let's see. About 2 o'clock, I got Roy Rogers. I almost didn't remember eating the second time. Trout.
Is that what that is?
Trout, I believe it is.
What? How long ago did you eat that?
This morning. When the bar opened.
Hey, Steve.
Yes.
So how did you get the exclusives? You're going to sit and ask Cato Kalin all the questions. And, listen, I was just talking about this. If Cato Kalin is telling the truth, then fine. I mean, I don't know anything about Cato Kalin. If he says he didn't score drugs for O.J., then what do I know? But if he did and he's lying, he has that on his conscience the rest of his life. But you say to yourself, well, why would a guy lie about something like that? Well, it looks pretty good here that O.J.'s going to get off. If you're going to get off, I would assume Cato's going to move right back into the party scene there with the hot tub and everything else.
Sure. Why not? I mean, of course you'd let him move now, wouldn't you? Got to take care of the guy.
Got to take care of your man. To Cato. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on out in Hollywood, but...
it's wild.
It's wild. Well, Steve, congratulations to you on getting that interview with Cato.
Thank you. You know, I love that crispy chicken with the ketchup on it.
Cato says he prays for O.J. every day.
Ketchup.
Catsup.
How come all you Australians are over here suddenly invading my television?
Because we love tabloid.
Yes, you guys...
We love your gossip.
Gossip, you love it.
Trouble, we love uncovering trouble.
You relish it.
We love your troublesome
revel
country.
in it.
We make money off it. We love the stories.
You love the action of this country.
Oh, indeed we do, yes.
Yes.
And we love those late-night eateries. I'm stumbling in and they don't throw you
out.
out.
What does that smell? What does that smell like?
Oh, please. Enough of analyzing his poop.
That would be Szechuan.
Szechuan.
We love your trouble and we love tablet. Besides, QVC turned me down.
All right, very good. Thank you. That, of course, is not Steve. That is...
Very
Give me a
happy.
break, dude.
Kelsey Grammer was talking to the press this past. He actually issued a statement and wound up at the award show, table hopping. This weekend is the SAG Awards, Screen Actors Guild Awards were presented this weekend. Kelsey very happy because he had been informed that there were going to be no indictments as a result of that grand jury in New Jersey.
Well, there's a guy with a lucky star over his head.
He had been accused of having sex with an underage girl, but because of the girl's spotty past history, I guess no indictment is going to be handed down. She also claims to have had sex with Grammer in Arizona, and the district attorney there says he will be consulting with the grand jury officials in New Jersey to see just what went on before making any determination as to what to do.
Right.
So, Kelsey Grammer off the hook. Frasier saved.
Well, he must have been doing a dance in the streets. It's like,
that was a close one.
well, Kelsey did claim that it was the setup.
All along,
there
he
you
said
go.
there was no validity to the allegation.
Luckier than OJ.
Now, this is a sad story. You know how you always hear these stories of people being left in a home after there have been charges of neglect or abuse, and then eventually the child is found dead? Well, in Chicago, they have added another twist to the story. The Social Services Department went into a home in 1993 and found the children unattended and living in filthy conditions.
Hey, well, my mother was nice.
So they took 4 children from this home and put them all into foster care.
Yeah.
And now one of the little boys has been killed by his foster mother.
Gee, how lucky can you get?
Who held him under a faucet because she was trying to potty train him.
Yeah. My mother did that to me. That's why I have hemorrhoids. I have a negative feeling about my backside. Well, you know, those kids, I know what story you're talking about. I remember that on the news.
Yeah,
they
held
went
him
into
under the faucet with the water running, and he drowned.
They went into this apartment, and I remember it on the news. It was like these kids were living like animals. They were eating out of a dog food dish and
Well,
everything.
I don't know if this is the exact family. Is it that same family?
I don't know. The Addams family, is that their name? So then they put these kids in a foster home, I guess, and now one of the kids is killed.
Yeah. So I guess there's no safe place. If your parents are washed out, there's no safe place.
The hot water treatment when you're trying to toilet train. My genitals were burned by it. What do you mean?
They don't even necessarily say it was hot water. She just held his head under the faucet and he drowned.
So what was the philosophy? I mean, I'm just trying to understand the philosophy. In other words, if the kid didn't potty train properly, you hold his head under, and then like maybe he'll get the idea that
if he doesn't know where to put his water, I don't know.
Right. You're going to punish him.
Yeah, you punish him with water.
Maybe the kid was thirsty because all that potty training makes you tired. More great parenting.
She has admitted that she was angry because the toilet training wasn't going well.
Whose fault is that? Hey, you know, you wonder why people... Well, forget it.
What?
No, you just wonder why people become foster parents, but I answer my own question, the money. I guess.
I guess.
Yeah. Can you collect even if the kid's dead?
I think they cut him off.
Oh, all right. Well, then that's what
that was a wrong move, yeah. Yeah. Okay, here's another one for you, an amputation mix-up. A 50-year-old man went into surgery.
Did you hear about this?
At the University Community Hospital in Tampa to have his right foot amputated, but when he woke up, he noticed it was his left foot that was gone.
They amputated the good foot.
Oh.
Did you believe? Oh. Can you believe that?
Look, that's the old good news, bad news.
Yeah, right.
The operation was a success.
And now he's got to go back under because they still have to amputate the other
now
foot.
He's going to have no feet.
Yeah.
Good news is the guy in the next bed wants to buy your boots.
I would take my feet and stuff them in the doctor's mouth and suffocate him.
Well, I love this line. The hospital is investigating.
Yeah,
I know what happened.
No, my foot's missing. There's no investigation.
That's the wrong foot.
How'd this happen? Oh, that is so cavalier. Now, you see, that's one case I think a guy should collect some money on. That's a legitimate injury. Yeah, there's a case.
He has a case.
That's a case.
You know what? That's an interesting point you bring up because there's a big debate now. A lot of the legislators are considering putting a cap on some of these awards that people get. They're not doing anything about the suits.
Yeah.
But they want to put a cap on the amount of the award.
Yeah, well, they have to do that.
I'm sorry. This guy deserves whatever he can get.
Yeah, no, but you see, something like that, there's not going to be a cap on losing the wrong foot.
Oh, no?
No. It's stuff like, you know, guy gets in a car accident, all of a sudden he has a neck brace on for 2 weeks suddenly, and it's like, you know.
I don't think so, Howard.
I know so.
I was reading an article in the paper the other day about a woman, you know, her son was in a car accident, hit by a drunk driver, I think.
Right.
And he's a mess. He's had 10 billion operations, as they have 10 billion more.
Yeah.
And she says that she would be affected by that cap.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who knows? Somebody's got to go through it, because you know how many frivolous ones there are.
Well, you do something about the frivolous ones.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. They will.
But I'm saying the legislators so far are thinking of just doing something across the board.
Yeah, well.
Which is ridiculous.
It's kind of hard to figure out which ones are frivolous and which aren't. You'd be there all day.
Well, you got to make exceptions in cases like this.
Yeah, I think so.
But I don't know that that's going into the law exactly. Also in the news, renewing the debate as to whether fighters should be wearing headgear inside the ring. Gerald McClellan was knocked cold. Actually, he wasn't knocked cold. He was knocked to his knees in a fight over the weekend. He went down on his knee twice and then collapsed later after the fight was over and was rushed to the hospital in a coma. That's not funny, Jackie. He had to be operated on, and the doctors determined that he had some kind of a bleeding thing going on in his brain after the fight. So luckily, he's probably going to be all right because they just took him right to the hospital, and they say that the medic saved his life by giving him oxygen very quickly, because in most of these cases it's because the brain doesn't get enough oxygen that you wind up with all kinds of deficits. Even if your life is saved, they think that they caught him in time, and that since the medics gave him oxygen, he should be all right. But a lot of people are saying this is ridiculous. Why aren't these fighters in headgear? You see much better fights in the gym because a guy can really go at it when his head is protected, rather than holding back as they do in some fights. But luckily this guy didn't die, but they say his career should be over. You don't go and try to get your bell rung twice, I don't think. But who knows? These boxers often get up and say they want to fight again.
We'll let him.
We'll have to see.
It's always funny. Watch a guy lose his brain. That's what you wait for, a good fight like that.
I don't know.
Sure you do.
You have taken the paper that I was going to use to do the story about the SAG Awards.
Oh.
Nothing sagging on you.
That's where I was going to talk about Jerry Seinfeld with his ex-girlfriend and now current girlfriend, Shoshana Lonstein.
I think Gary took the paper.
Oh, everybody's running around with
Where's my USA Today?
So Shoshana and Jerry were back together again. Jerry says that they want to spend more time together.
Is that right?
Yes. I had heard that they were back together and that she had been coming to the set and that they were, very touchy-feely.
Oh, is that right?
With each other.
Yeah, I saw him at that. I watched those SAG Awards.
Oh, yeah?
Because I voted for them. So, yeah, she was there with him.
And they were showing her on camera and all that stuff?
A little bit.
Because you had a big debate going on about what goes on at what award show was it?
Yeah, but screw that debate. They were showing her.
Okay.
And she's got a big chest, man. That's God bless him. Could her parents be happy about this?
I think they pretty much, let this go on.
Really? Man. Jerry's not going to marry her unless he gets her to sign a prenup where he wouldn't have to pay her anything.
Well, I guess he feels maybe if he gets to know her a little better, he won't need the prenup.
Well, yeah, that's just what he's thinking. I mean, if she was my daughter, I'd say to her, look, let me lay it out to you. It might seem kind of exciting right now, but this guy ain't serious about you. If he's serious about you, let him marry you without any prenup.
Or just let him use you up until he doesn't want you anymore and throw you out.
Yeah. I mean, get something out of the guy. Because he's got, obviously a guy who's into you while you're young. And what are you thinking? I don't know, man. Everyone gets caught up in this Jerry Seinfeld thing.
Hard to understand.
I've seen pictures of the girls Jerry used to get before he got famous. Jerry's no prize. He's no physical specimen.
While they were all split up, it sounded like he's no prize now.
Yeah, damn right.
George Burns turned up at the awards, and they say he was the big hit. Got a big stand-up.
He could barely stand up. He's real. Like George Burns has always been in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
He's finally falling apart.
Yeah, it's happening fast. There's a big downhill slide.
He looks like a monkey. Did you see him? He looks like a monkey with this weird rug on his head. He's got the rug that he used to wear when his head was like a size bigger.
I know. Doesn't your head get smaller?
His head must have shrunk with the rest of him, and he's got this big giant piece of carpeting on his head.
Yeah. And it's like almost down in his eyes now.
Because I remember for a while, actually, George Burns had a pretty good rug.
Yeah.
And now he's still got a pretty good rug, except his head shrunk.
And they do say that old people do shrink, and George is shrinking fast.
And Anne Margaret did a tribute to him. I wish I had tape of this. Anne Margaret is the most affected human being on the planet.
More than Liza?
More than Cindy Adams.
Oh, my.
That's how affected she is. And she's like, let me just say, Mr. Burns, there. You know, and that was kind of cute when she had a hot body and everything.
Yeah. I guess she's still a little chippy to George, though.
Yeah, I guess so. A young chippy. I don't know, man. But
I got the 60-year-old Anne Margaret coming on.
Yeah, you know, it's time to drop the baby voice. Like maybe at some point mature a little.
Throwback.
Yeah,
woman now.
Yeah, she's a throwback to that glamorous era. You know, the sex kitten.
There's no girl there anymore.
Yeah, like Marilyn Monroe. She should have offed herself. Be eternally young.
That's not right.
She's still playing a baby. She's like, Mr. Burns, let me just... So George Burns starts giving his acceptance speech to this dumb award he's getting, and he can barely croak out the words. And Anne Margaret goes, no, George, please, I have to say something here. Now, ladies and gentlemen... Mr. George Burns.
He just wants to get off.
He just wanted the guy. He said one line. He just wanted to sit down. The guy they had to hold him up. It was like unbelievable. He looked like a bird in a nest trying to get some food from its mother.
Little baby bird.
Yeah. And Anne Margaret standing next to him pretending to be a baby, like she's never gotten a period.
Well, she has been probably a long time.
Who knows? What, since 1968? Who knows when she got the last one?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know anything about her. I got to take a break here, Robin.
Okay, and we'll come back and announce the winners of these awards.
Okay, very good.
We'll return to the Howard Stern Show after these messages.
And let me just remind everyone that Snapple's the way to go when you're looking for a drink. Man, is Snapple good. What a great company. What a great product. I'm very enthusiastic about my association with Snapple. Over 20 years now I've been drinking it, and I got to say they've been a sponsor of mine for I don't even know how long.
Practically as long as you've been on the radio.
That's right. They started with me in Hartford. No, I don't know. They started with us when we got to New York. And they're just great. They're great people, and they had a really good idea. They were like a bunch of guys who, I think they owned a deli in the Village, and then like when the whole beatnik thing started happening, they started serving like health drinks to the beatniks because they were like open-minded and into that kind of thing. And then all of a sudden they dropped the deli part and they started making the drinks full time. And this is the story I heard anyway. I don't even know if it's true, but it sounds pretty cool. So they started making like clear root beers where they didn't have any artificial colorings or flavorings. And when they made a fruit juice, it was 100% fruit juice, no artificial anything. And the company grew. Because 20 years ago, you couldn't find Snapple except for like hippie health food stores and stuff. I guess they used to go deliver it themselves. And now it's become mainstream. It's become big. People all crave what the beatniks knew years ago. They want an all-natural drink. No artificial flavors or preservatives.
You sure it was beatnik?
Beatniks. This is before hippies. Tea flavors, fruit drink flavors, soda flavors, cherry lime Ricky, passion supreme, peach Melba, French cherry, true root beer, creme de vanilla. All of these flavors clear because there's no artificial anything. Snapple made from the best stuff on earth.
You're listening to the Howard Stern Show on 97.1 The Eagle. On The Eagle. We're back with the Howard Stern Show. Here's Howard.
All right, so we were going to listen to a little bit of tape.
No, we weren't listening to a little bit of tape.
Didn't you say we had some tape when we came back?
No, I said we would talk about the winners of the awards.
No, it's just some tape.
No, I didn't. Didn't say anything about tape.
I must be hearing something.
I guess. Anyway, these were the Screen Actors Guild Awards, and people try to say that these are precursors to the Oscars and predict what could happen on Oscar night. Tom Hanks won for Forrest Gump. Jodie Foster for Nell. Supporting actor honors went to Martin Landau for Ed Wood.
There's an awful lot of award shows. I tell you, there's way too many.
It used to be the Oscars, the Grammys, and the Emmys, and now there's an award for everything.
Yeah, they all show up. I saw that Screen Actors Guild Award show. Everyone was there.
Lots of people there, yeah.
It's kind of fun, though. It's like all celebrities, so they all get to look at each other in their fancy gowns and stuff.
And I like it because it's movies and television all lumped together. Usually you get one group of artists.
No radio or comedy club.
Never.
Awards.
And for Best Supporting Actress, Diane Wiest.
Ugh. For what?
She did. She was in Woody Allen's Bullets Over Broadway.
I have no desire to see that. I remember when Woody Allen was exciting when he'd come out with something. Now it's like, oh, my God, it's another Ingmar Bergman movie, Borefest.
No. This is a good one.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Bullets over Broadway?
Yeah. It's about a guy who writes for... he writes a play, and he winds up involved with the mob to get the play produced.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
you
it's
saw
very
it?
funny.
What's that?
It's
what?
very funny.
Yeah? Has it got any scenes with young girls in it where, like, an older guy...
Jennifer Tilly is in it.
And does Woody walk in and take her on and have sex with her?
No, Woody's not in the movie at all.
Oh, all right, then I'll go see it. I don't know.
They went and talked to a bunch of teenagers.
Who did?
Discovered, some pollster, and discovered that even teenagers think they are too influenced by sex they see on TV.
Come teenagers, ruining everything.
I know.
The little bit of sex you get.
Make it bad for all
that's
of
good.
us.
Yeah, I'm very influenced by the sex I see on TV.
8 out of 10 said they see too much premarital sex, and 3 in 5 say it spurs kids to begin sex early.
I can't wait to meet the teenager that took part in this poll and told people that TV sex is
I
bad.
think they're the same teenagers that wind up in the Miss America pageant. They're already old.
Hey, kids, you can go back to the days when I was a teenager where you sat there and...
know that is bad for me when I'm watching it, but I can't help myself. I have to do it anyway.
Right.
Very interesting concept.
Ruining for everybody.
We don't have brains.
No.
We are simply
Just me.
programmed by the TV. And must go out and do what we see.
What else is in the news?
Oh, what, are you going to rush?
Yeah. I like to keep it moving. I like a potpourri of stories.
They are going to officially put the name of Henry Foster into nomination for not Attorney General, Surgeon General.
I have to say, make him Attorney General.
Yeah, he'd have an easier time.
Right.
The latest allegations that have come out about him are that he participated in a very cruel study conducted by the government on black men in the South early on in his career, in which they refused to treat men who were infected with syphilis, so they could watch the course of the disease.
No, because how are you going to know what happened?
Who cares? Give him the penicillin.
You just want to see what happens?
Anyway, he answered those charges this past weekend. Here is Henry Foster.
Henry Foster.
He was at a Baptist church in Nashville, Tennessee.
Boy, there's a new rumor about this guy every day. What was the one I heard?
What did he do? I was going to say, what part did he take in the Kennedy assassination?
Oh, yeah.
He's a member of every plot.
I know in the O.J. thing, he gassed up the Bronco for the getaway.
They have used distortion after distortion in the past weeks. You have heard them. But the most recent charge that I, as a young black doctor in Tuskegee, Alabama, knowingly cooperated with the most cruel and inhumane experiment ever undertaken by our government is outrageous. It is offensive.
Yeah.
It is dead wrong, and it is without substance.
Right. Yow. I wish you guys would do that for me more often.
Yes, sir.
Whenever I say something, just say yes, sir.
Well, you talk too fast.
Yeah. This is a lie.
Yes, it is.
This is wrong. No, I said it's wrong, not right.
Right, it's wrong.
Right. Now you got it.
And Dr. Foster continued.
Why would I have turned my back on the very people I had come to serve? What would I have gained? And how dare these groups accuse me? I was serving the people of Tuskegee. What were they doing? Who were they serving?
Who's he talking about, the white man?
No, the people who are attacking him.
Oh, it's not the white man?
They're probably white, but...
Sounds like a white man to me. The way everybody's... Can't be healthy. So no one's allowed to attack him.
Well, if they're making false statements, that would be wrong. If he didn't
Yes, ma'am.
participate in that experiment, that would be wrong.
He isn't. Well, I'm glad they're sticking by him, though.
They will officially place his name in nomination today.
Yeah, I'm glad they're sticking by him, because just because the guy did some abortions doesn't make a difference to me, and just because he operated on some retarded people when everyone else was doing it, what's the big deal? Excuse me, what was it? He took out some of their brain?
No. He was performing those sterilization kind of tubes or something.
Big deal. The family didn't want their retarded children having kids, so he sterilized them. That's so terrible. I'm sure the retarded people didn't notice.
Fred still does.
Yeah. I had Fred sterilized 7 years ago.
You did.
That's right.
And then he conducted some abortions and participated in some testing.
Yeah. As far as I know, abortion was legal.
Still is.
Guy wasn't doing anything wrong. That's right.
Greg Louganis did make his appearance on Barbara Walters, and I fell asleep.
Was he that boring?
I didn't get to see the show start. I don't know whether Greg was boring or not.
Yeah, I forgot to watch it, too.
But you'll get another crack at him today. He's going to be on Oprah.
Oprah's crack.
And
Oprah's having a crack at him? So this is Oprah's crack at Greg Louganis.
Yeah, Oprah's going to do Greg.
He's not interested?
And Greg will tell you all about, his bouts of depression and his sad life. Here's a little bit of what he said to Barbara Walters last Friday when it aired on 2020.
Boy, he can't stop. Here's a guy who covered up his AIDS when people were exposed to his blood, but boy, he has no problem talking about it now.
Can't shut him up.
He's like a babbling brook.
The one thing that I do regret doing is not telling Dr. Puffer, before he sewed up my head. But I've since talked to him, and he's negative.
Oh my!
No thanks to you.
Yeah,
Negative.
Luckily he's negative. Of course, if Dr. Puffer had pricked his finger, yeah, he would have been a different story.
So go on. What else did Greg have to say?
Are these in any particular order?
No, just
okay. This is a whole bunch of them.
After the 76 Olympics in 1977, I tried to commit suicide, and then again in 78. I was battling depression, clinical depression, and I didn't realize it.
I have that. I'm battling that. I went to Dr. Puffer.
What does he mean he was battling clinical depression? Does that mean he's on a medication now?
I don't know. You should see Professor BJ.
Oh.
That's a guy who helps with clinical depression for me, and he might be like Dr. Puffer.
No, I think it sounds like he was a guy who didn't like being gay for some reason. I get the impression that it bummed him out.
Yeah, I get the impression that Greg Louganis would have loved to have been the perfect role model, stereotypical hero.
Liked to have been, what was that, Mark Spitz?
Right, Bruce Jenner with the wife, and the whole all-American image.
And this just ruined it for him that he liked guys.
Yeah. He probably had a hard time with it.
Yeah. So go on.
I told myself if I get a positive result, I'm packing up and going home. Because I didn't want to take the chance of, qualifying for the team and taking 2 spots and, getting sick while I was over there. I never imagined myself hitting the board. My doctor, who's also my cousin in Florida, he encouraged me to stay with it, that I should continue diving, because that was probably the healthiest thing for me at that time.
So anyway, you'll see more of him, and he's on the cover of People magazine.
What do I have to do, get AIDS to get on the cover of People magazine?
It seems so.
What about me?
I don't know what you can do, Jack. I think you have to get every disease. Did you hear that Demi Moore was doing research for her newest role? I think the movie's called The Stripper, and she was at Scores over the weekend, checking out some of the girls. She was very generous with her tips and bought 4 table dances.
Nice tips.
Tips.
Are those her tips?
One of the girls who danced for Demi said somehow you feel more appreciated when you dance for a woman. In this business, you get 2 kinds of customers.
Horny guys and horny guys.
The ones who smile and the ones who look dumbfounded.
I wonder what I am.
She said Demi smiled. And one of the other columns, they ask if Demi didn't use Scores because it's one of her husband's favorite hangouts when he's in town. They talk about a particular evening when he was at the East Side Strip joint and then left with two of the dancers and went to an after-hours club, then moved on to a health club for what they heard was a very vigorous early morning workout.
What does that mean?
You have to ask George Rush, I guess. That's in his column today. They just thought it was interesting that Demi wound up at the same club. She could have had table dances from the guy or the girls who were entertaining her husband. President Clinton is going to sign an executive order today that'll make it easier to track down men who work for the government who are not paying their child support. He says he wants to make federal government a model employer by requiring that its workers live up to their responsibilities. So if you're a deadbeat dad and you work for the government, watch out, they're going to come get you. It's going to make it easy to get that money out of your paycheck.
You can't have kids anymore and skip town. Make it really rough. Hey, maybe it was a mistake.
Yeah, it was a mistake if you don't want to pay for it.
Right.
A conductor on a subway here in New York stuck his head out of the window when he was going over the Manhattan Bridge last night, and he's near death now because his head went into a post at 40 miles an hour. And Jackie, that is the worst. I can't believe you laughed.
Jackie laughs at a lot of different things. He's got a really good sense of humor.
Michael Slaworski, or Slaworski.
How do you say that?
Let me see if they didn't spell this wrong.
He's a Polish conductor! Polish conductor, look out a window!
Slaworski is what they have here.
Spell it.
I think it's ski, though. They spelled it differently, two different ways. It's Slaworski.
All right.
He's been
No head ski. How could he stick his head out the window?
Well, that's what they're asking. Why?
Maybe it was a suicide.
Out of the window of a moving train. Well, that's a pretty sloppy way of doing it.
Jackie Puppet, do you have a joke about this?
Guy sticks his head. Polish guy sticks his head out the window. He's the Polish conductor. Low bridge. Low bridge. Pop, pop, pop.
Can't believe it.
Yeah, it happened about 4:20 in the afternoon, just minutes after the Manhattan-bound train left the Pacific Street station in Brooklyn. The conductor went up to inquire why the doors hadn't opened at one of the stops, and he discovered.
Was the guy unconscious in there?
Yes. What do you think?
I don't know. I'm just trying to determine the extent of the injuries.
Well, he's near death.
Wow. That's pretty heavy.
That's pretty expensive.
How do you know somebody didn't push his head out the window? Seriously.
There wasn't anybody around.
No evidence of foul play?
No. Sandy Korn almost made it onto the cover of Playboy, but now they're saying in Hot Copy today that they may be the reason she's not going to. Hugh Hefner had decided that she should be on the cover, even though she had formerly been a Penthouse pet. There seems to be some rivalry between the two mags, and you can't have the same girls in the magazine.
I think you could understand that.
But after they had said Korn was going to be on, then they changed their minds and said no. So she's not. Sorry, Sandy. No Penthouse cover, no Playboy cover for you.
Put a Polish conductor on the cover.
John Stamos would like all of his fans to know that Full House is not going to be canceled by ABC because all of the stars wanted more money. He says that money wasn't the problem, that all of the stars would have been willing to work for the same salaries or even take a little bit of a cut to keep the show on. But something was wrong on ABC's end.
What's wrong? Maybe somebody woke up and read the scripts.
And don't look for the show to be saved or have a last-minute reprieve, according to him. In his mind, it's all over. He went to church, got on his knees, and thanked God for a great 8 years.
I don't understand.
What?
This is very upsetting. It really affects me.
Well, I know that your children watch,
Yeah,
and you're a big Amos fan, I thought I'd let you know what's going on. Tony Danza coming back to series television. He's going to do a new series for ABC in which he plays a divorced cop who has a son.
And then they ski into a tree and break their back.
Wow.
It's true.
And Maury Povich today will be talking to actress Darlene Tate. She's the woman who played the obese mom in What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
That's a cool movie.
She has gained nearly 100 pounds since making the film. She's going to come on and talk about the problem.
That should be really attractive, considering she was a big, fat slob beforehand. Now she should be really huge. She should be really funny to look at.
We'll have on two women who've also battled extraordinary weight problems to give her support.
Yeah, Maury will be real supportive and sensitive while he goes home to Connie Chung, a thin Oriental woman.
And they've been experiencing violence down at Mardi Gras. I thought that was supposed to be a fun time.
Of course it is. You get your clams. Clams out of a garbage pail. On the Barbie.
But 4 people have been shot along the route in New Orleans. 1 gunman and 3 bystanders were wounded. The shootings occurred just moments before the arrival of actor John Larroquette on a float.
Oh, my God. Thank God he's okay.
Police say the shootings were the result of an ongoing dispute between 2 groups who encountered each other in the crowd.
I can't imagine trouble breaks out at Mardi Gras and the whole town is drunk off their ass and wearing masks and have complete anonymity and a lot of weapons.
That,
people just running around naked.
a great many unsolved crimes that go on during
That's
Mardi
a recipe for disaster.
Person with a cat mask shooting you in the head.
Yeah.
So that's what's happening, folks.
Complete chaos.
That's all in preparation for Ash Wednesday, which is coming up.
When is that?
And the Lenten season. This Wednesday.
This Wednesday's Ash Wednesday, so I'm going to be applying ashes?
I hope so.
Anybody who wants ashes applied because there's a long way to church, come down here and I'll do it for you.
Yeah. Rather than going out there and standing in line and not being able to get to work, we'll fix you right up.
Yeah, we'll give you the express ashes.
Oh.
Hot ashes.
Right.
That's my sacrament.
Well, we'll have to get down to Mardi Gras. Let the bullets fly. Safer than O.J. Selden at Mardi Gras. Hey, tonight watch...
Ash Wednesday.
Yeah, do powder burns qualify?
Tonight, watch the E! Show because Gary will be at the Learning Annex, and that's where we goof on him, and we actually hide a couple of people in the audience to ask questions, and we hide our camera. Jackie Jokeman Marlowe, to order Jackie's Wild Comedy CD or cassette, it's $10 plus $3 shipping and handling. Jokeland special, buy 2, get 1 free. Call 1-800-323-KING. This Saturday, March 4th, with Boy Gary as MC and Stuttering John's band at the Taj Mahal in Atlantic City. For dirty jokes and info, call 516-922-WINE. That's Jackie in Atlantic City. 516-922-WINE is not a pay service.
Police conductor rips his head off at the subway.
Don't miss Stuttering John's band appearing at Tramps at 45 West 21st Street in Manhattan this Tuesday night, February 28th. For more information, call 201-942-OUCH. If you're planning a wedding or party, you need a disc jockey, call Scott the Engineers, Rocket Entertainment at 718-BAG-5040. We'll see you tomorrow.
Pure Rock 97.1.